3 billion young people across the globe have been collectively transported to a survival world. Age range: 18 to 35 years old. Every single one has no family, no ties holding them back. Welcome to the global maritime survival world. There are no guides, and there is no final destination on this road of survival. All players worldwide will be teleported to random locations. At the start, each person receives a random vehicle and a fishing rod, plus the innate skill to operate your assigned craft. Your fishing rod can catch fish and randomly spawning treasure chests. Islands are scattered across the sea, hiding untold treasures. The ghost fog creeps forward at a steady pace. Survivors, do not stop, keep moving. Trust me, you do not want to learn what lurks within the ghost fog. Every 7 days, random natural disasters will strike this world. Hailstorms, typhoons, extreme heat, extreme cold, thunderstorms, acid rain. Warning: the first day is a newcomer protection period. The first disaster will hit exactly 24 hours from now. Your mission is to keep moving non-stop while fleeing the ghost fog, and stay alive through all manner of unknown catastrophes. A flat, mechanical voice echoed inside Li Shuang's mind, and he stirred awake from a dazed slumber. He opened his eyes to a blazing sun hanging high overhead, a sticky, sweltering wave of heat washing over his skin. Global maritime survival. Li Shuang muttered to himself, staring in disbelief at the unfamiliar scenery all around him. He was lying inside a tattered rubber dinghy. The stench of sun-baked rubber mixed with salty seawater burned his nostrils. The cerulean sky held barely a wisp of cloud, and the ink-dark blue ocean stretched endlessly, merging with the horizon far in the distance. He scanned every direction, yet not a single island or seabird was visible anywhere. Where the hell did I get dumped? This can't still be my home country, right? Li Shuang felt like bursting into tears. He licked his parched, cracked lips and forced himself to accept reality. His throat was so dry it ached with every swallow. He struggled to prop himself up, desperate to find food and fresh water. The moment his palm pressed against the dinghy's floor, a pale blue, translucent light screen suddenly unfurled before his eyes, like some divine miracle. The interface was split into several tabs: World Chat, Player Profile, Trade Hub, Vehicle Stats. He tapped open Player Profile first. Name: Li Shuang. Nationality: Huaxia. Health: 89 out of 100, sub-health state. More exercise recommended to boost physical stamina. Sanity: 93/100, below 20. Hallucinations will manifest. Below 10, full psychosis. Sanity hitting 0 results in instant suicide. Spirit: 6, average for adult humans. Higher spirit stat boosts resistance and faster sanity recovery. Strength: 5, slightly below average adult male strength, commonly known as a scrawny weakling by earthly standards. The system's blunt evaluation made Li Shuang grind his teeth in irritation. After calming his frustration, he pulled up the World Chat channel to hunt for useful clues. The chat feed was exploding non-stop, flooded with frantic, wailing messages scrolling at breakneck speed. Oh my god, what is this place? I've seen a ghost. A player from the United States sent a voice clip alongside photos, with automatic text translation provided by the system. The snapshot showed a row of crude wooden rafts against an endless ocean horizon. A thick, accented voice played automatically with real-time subtitles. I have no clue. I was roughhousing with my boys over a lizard, and mid-fight I got teleported out here onto the sea. Wow, another guy from India here. Was that roughhousing really innocent fun? Haha, Indian guy plus lizard, double trouble stacked high. Damn it, send me back right now. My student loan just hit my account, and a junior girl's waiting for me at the hotel. This godforsaken place is a nightmare. An overseas black student sent a broken, stilted voice note, instantly sparking hostile replies from Huaxia players. Go crawl back to Africa. If you've got that much energy, go pick cotton on a farm. You're begging for a whipping, aren't you? The black student's messages were quickly buried under hundreds of replies, yet most posts were filled with confusion and panic about their predicament. So this is another world? All humans from Earth got dumped here. Looks like it. Didn't the system just say everyone starts with one vehicle and a fishing rod? We've got to fend for ourselves to stay alive. I lost every single thing I had. Wallet, phone, lighter, all gone. Are you kidding me? All I've got left is the clothes on my back and this beat-up wooden raft. Quit guessing. This is just our country's backyard swimming pool, the center of the universe. Really? Where's the American military garrison out on the water then? Arg, you Korean fool. You Japs want to get hit with another nuke? Damn you Korean bastards. Shut both of you up, or I'll jam vodka bottles up your rectums and ship you off to Siberia to grow potatoes. A brutal outburst from a Russian survivor silenced the bickering Korean and Japanese players instantly. The Japanese survivors, in particular, shuddered at the memory of past defeat and fell silent at once. Hey everyone, what vehicle did you all spawn with? I only got a bamboo raft, and I have to row it by hand. Count your blessings up there. I only got an inflatable swim ring. I have to kick my legs to move. Ha ha ha, small wooden boat passing by, nothing fancy. You're bragging about a tiny boat? Luxury yacht reporting in. What a coincidence, speedboat here. Ooh, amphibious vehicle, coming through. Aircraft carrier, cruising past. Cut the crap. There's a limit to how much you can lie. If someone's got an aircraft carrier, then I'm piloting the Sailor Moon spaceship. As the world chat heated up, a giant countdown timer popped up across nearly the entire screen. Time until Ghost Fog arrival, 59 minutes and 58 seconds. Li Shuang stared numbly at the ticking clock, the seconds dripping away one by one. 57 seconds. 56 seconds, 55 seconds. The blood-red font amplified the suffocating sense of doom, coldly counting down the moment death would reach them. Li Shuang snapped his head upward and spotted something strange far behind him. A thin gray line sat between the pale and deep blue stretches of the horizon, creeping closer little by little. Many other survivors were posting the same observation in world chat. Li Shuang forced down his anxiety and scrolled through the messages, noticing everyone's countdown timers were wildly different. Some had over a full day left, others only minutes. This meant all players had been scattered randomly across the ocean, each at a unique distance from the advancing ghost fog. Help! The ghost fog's coming. What do I do? We're doomed. I've only got 10 minutes left, and I'm stuck on a bamboo raft that I have to paddle. I spawned a yacht, but my fuel tank's almost empty. Anyone got spare gasoline to share? Begging you. Hee hee, lucky me, I've got a sailboat. Wind's all I need to flee. See you suckers. Someone rescue me. Give me a ride. I'll pay you. I'll reward you handsomely once we're back in the real world. Sailboat bro, take me with you. I'm wearing black stockings, high heels, and a bodycon dress. Heart emojis, moi. Get lost. Weren't you the one bragging about spawning an aircraft carrier earlier? Your voice is rougher than mine. Come on bro. I'm a cute girl from Chengdu. Think about it. Before the husky, flirtatious male voice clip finished playing, a photo was uploaded straight to World Chat. Round face, full beard, white ankle socks, and knee-length shorts. Paired with an awkward pose where he lay on the raft sticking one leg up, the image triggered a flood of gagging replies. Oh my god, I'm gonna throw up. Ugh, I fought the urge, but I'm gagging anyway. Bro, add me as a friend. I'm also from Chengdu. Quit messing around and help me, damn it. What the hell are all of you doing? System, why'd you give me such garbage transport? I want to go home. The ghost fog's closing in. One survivor sent a final blood-curdling cry for help, then never posted again. 30 billion players logged onto World Chat at the start, yet within mere minutes, the total count dropped by 20,000. Most of those 20,000 were unlucky souls spawned right beside the ghost fog, with no time to react to the sudden catastrophe. The total survivor counter in the top right corner flickered wildly, the numbers shrinking non-stop. Li Shuang wasted no time and rushed to the outboard motor mounted at the rear of his rubber dinghy. He fumbled to flip the power switch, yet the hum of ignition he expected never came. He pulled up the vehicle stats panel, and the motor module blazed bright red with a warning label. Vehicle, rubber dinghy level, LV.1 max speed, 10 km per hour armament, none defense, 10, low durability, only safe for basic passenger transport. Durability, 37, aged, degraded rubber hull, long overdue for repairs, motor battery, 0. System assessment. This beat-up second-hand rubber dinghy has a completely dead battery. You are advised to find a new, reliable vehicle. The old one can be listed on second-hand resale platforms for scrap value. Damn it all to hell. Li Shuang smacked the motor hard in frustration. They give me a vehicle, but no power to run it. The system really ought to have some decency. Suddenly, an ethereal, androgynous system voice echoed inside his head. Ding. Host detected in mortal danger. Divine Empowerment System binding automatically commencing. Divine Empowerment System bound successfully. Divine Empowerment Rule. Every vehicle level up grants the host one Divine Empowerment charge, usable on any nearby object. Detected host vehicle at LV.1. One Divine Empowerment card awarded now. Li Shuang held his breath, fixated on a streak of golden light materializing out of thin air before him. The glow faded, leaving a golden card hovering mid-air, slowly spinning. Divine Empowerment. Infinite Energy Empowerment Description. This buff may be bound to any mechanical device to grant an endless, unending power supply. Detected eligible target within range. Rubber dinghy use empowerment? Yes, no? Li Shuang's eyes lit up instantly. It's like getting a pillow the second I start dozing off. This divine empowerment was tailor-made for his predicament. Watching the ghost fog draw ever nearer, he reached out without hesitation and tapped the floating yes button. The golden card dissolved into a thin stream of light that flooded into the rubber dinghy, coating the motor in a faint golden sheen. Whoom! In the next instant, the lifeless motor seemed to awaken with a soul. After a violent shudder, it roared back to full working order. Divine empowerment fusion complete. Li Shuang rushed to check his vehicle stats again. The glaring red battery warning on the motor module was gone, replaced by glowing golden text. Motor battery, infinite. Woohoo, time to blast off. Li Shuang covered half his face and roared with laughter, staring upward into empty space through his fingers. Infinite energy, unlimited electricity. With this cheat code, no matter how much he upgrades the dinghy later, any extra appliances or weapons he adds will never run out of power. Food and fresh water are critical for ocean survival, sure. But the ghost fog hounds you like a plague. You have no choice but to keep moving at all times. Your vehicle's power source is the bottom line of your safety. As long as you stay alive, anything is possible. Li Shuang took a deep breath, glanced at the advancing ghost fog, and slammed the motor's throttle lever down. Chug! The propeller spun violently, nearly tossing Li Shuang straight out of the dinghy into the ocean. The explosive burst of power far exceeded the motor's official speed limit. Li Shuang quickly sat back against the stern, gripping the control lever with one hand to adjust the propeller's angle. Full speed ahead. Vroom. The motor shook violently, lifting the front of the rubber dinghy like a speedboat as it sliced across the churning waves toward the distance. 0, 20, 40, 60, 80. Before he knew it, the dinghy hit a staggering 80 kilometers per hour. Under normal conditions, this motor only topped out at roughly 10 kilometers per hour. Many small 12-volt outboards barely hit 5 to 7 kilometers per hour at maximum output. The sea wind whipped against his face, clearing Li Shuang's head and sending a thrill up his spine. The ocean surface around him lay unnervingly calm. From above, his dinghy would look like a thin white streak cutting across black water. Not far ahead, a jet ski trundled along at a sluggish pace. Its rider was throttling back to conserve gasoline, holding steady at 20 kilometers per hour. Within a heartbeat, Li Shuang's speeding rubber dinghy shot past like a locomotive, tearing roughly through the waves beside the jet ski. Splash! The propeller churned up salty spray, forcing water surging to either side. The sheer force of the wake shoved the jet ski sideways, nearly capsizing it entirely. The jet ski rider fought to steady his craft, wiping seawater off his face and yelling furiously. Can't you watch where you're going? The ocean's huge and you cut right in front of me. You think you're driving a sports car? But when he caught sight of the beat-up rubber dinghy speeding farther and Candy's far away, his face paled as if he'd seen a ghost. Holy hell, does this guy have unlimited fuel? How can a beat-up rubber dinghy skim across the water like that? Wait up, boss. Give me a ride, I beg you. Li Shuang raced onward until the sun dipped below the horizon, leaving countless slower survivors trailing far behind him. Every person fleeing at a snail's pace stared in shock as he passed. Someone recorded footage of Li Shuang's rubber dinghy with the system interface and posted it to World Chat, sparking a massive uproar. What's going on here? Who's this guy? How's he not worried about running out of power? He doesn't need to worry. His dinghy runs on electricity. But why is it moving so fast? Where's he getting that much power? It's not fair. All I've got is an oar. My arms are cramping after rowing all afternoon. This is ridiculous. He must be cheating with hacks. Maybe he fished a treasure chest and got a rare item drop. Nothing too crazy about that. Can treasure chests even spawn fuel? Absolutely. They drop fuel, spare parts, basic materials, even daily necessities. For real. The wooden chest I fished up today had fresh water and bread inside. With treasure chests now the hot topic, the chat shifted focus away from Li Shuang's speedy dinghy, everyone chattering excitedly about loot boxes. Li Shuang checked his interface. His countdown timer for the ghost fog had been pushed back to 13 full hours. Treasure chests, huh? Sounds interesting. Now that he was temporarily safe, he needed to find something to eat first. Glancing around the dinghy, he spotted the system-issued fishing rod tucked in a quiet corner. Item name: fishing rod level, LV.1 chest drop rate, wooden chest 20, iron chest 1, bronze chest 0.05, silver chest 0, gold chest 0. System assessment: basic fishing gear. You can catch fish for food, with a small chance of reeling in wooden treasure chests containing basic survival supplies. After reading the stats, Li Shuang set up the rod and cast his line while there was still a sliver of sunset left. One huge relief. This system fishing rod required no bait, saving him a massive hassle. Let's see what I pull up. Ideally a god-tier treasure chest or something. No, don't get greedy. A gold chest would be more than enough. If I land a gold chest, I'd happily live in a luxury mansion and marry a celebrity. Li Shuang licked his chapped lips, rubbing his hands together anxiously as he stared at the float bobbing on the waves. Moments later, the fishing line went taut with a sharp tug. Li Shuang cranked the reel quickly. He barely strained at all before hauling a 2-kilogram sea fish aboard. He cast the line again, and while waiting for another bite, grabbed a rusty blade stowed in the corner to gut and fillet the catch. He fumbled clumsily to cut raw fish slices, then lifted a piece straight to his mouth and swallowed it. There was no cooking oil, salt, ginger, garlic, or seasonings of any kind. The smooth, slippery raw fish slid down his parched throat, bringing a rare cool relief to his burning esophagus. Li Shuang licked the fish juices off his lips greedily. This was his first bite of food since being teleported to this hellish ocean world. He devoured the whole fish in minutes, finally feeling full. Just then, the fishing rod jerked violently once more. The pull felt strange this time. No wriggling living weight. Only the heavy drag of a solid object snagged on the hook. Could it be? Li Shuang's eyes lit up, reeling the line in faster than ever. A bubbling swirl of water rose to the surface, and a wooden treasure chest draped in tattered seaweed broke the waves. Thud! The wooden chest landed heavily inside the rubber dinghy with a dull thump. Ignoring the slimy, fishy stench of the waterlogged wood, Li Shuang pried open the metal latches at once. He lifted the lid, revealing a decent haul of supplies waiting inside. Item name, wooden treasure chest. Reward contents, rubber times 10, steel times 10, bread times 5, mineral water times 2. Li Shuang paid no mind to the rubber and steel. He twisted open a bottle of mineral water without delay and chugged half of it in one go. Long-lost cool moisture slid down his throat, as if every single cell in his body was greedily drinking in the water. With bread and mineral water on hand, he wouldn't starve for the time being. At the same time, a string of level-up announcements popped up in the World Channel and caught his eye. Congratulations to survivor Lu Chong for upgrading his Level 2 vehicle, unlocking the first server-wide Level 2 achievement. Fishing rod upgraded to Level 2. Rewards, bronze treasure chest times 5, silver treasure chest times 1. Congratulations to survivor Yi Zhiqi for upgrading his Level 2 vehicle. Fishing rod upgraded to Level 2. Congratulations to survivor Jiahao for upgrading his Level 2 vehicle. Fishing rod upgraded to Level 2. Congratulations to survivor Zhao Rui for upgrading his Level 2 vehicle. Damn, a silver treasure chest? The drop rate for bronze chests is only 0.05, and silver chests are supposed to drop at 0. They just handed one out like that. Why him? I also hit Level 2 and got Jack Squat. He unlocked a server-exclusive achievement. If you're so good, go hit Level 3 right now. Damn it, I'm way too close to the Ghost Mist. I've been running for my life non-stop. No time to fish for levels. I'm done for. I've been stuck 5 hours away from the Ghost Mist and only fished up one wooden chest with a little food. If I'd known achievements gave such great rewards, I would have grinded supplies day and night. What are you waiting for? Night fishing time, right? No one's unlocked the Level 3 achievement yet. Tier-up materials are scarce early on. We still have a shot. Shit, it's already pitch black and people are still fishing for chests? Is everyone this competitive? You people are insane. It's the end of the world and you're still grinding non-stop. A player posted 2 chest slots in the World Channel. Inventory, bronze treasure chest times 2. The channel instantly exploded with chatter. Are you kidding me? You secretly grinded 2 bronze chests? Did you fish them up by trading your lifespan? How's anyone supposed to sleep now? I'm pulling an all-nighter too. Everyone's grinding like crazy. Many survivors who'd been about to lie down and rest to conserve strength shot upright, cursing as they grabbed their fishing rods. Li Shuang couldn't sit still either. Wow, I never knew achievements came with such generous rewards. Nearly every survivor who'd upgraded their vehicle to Level 2 was far from the Ghost Mist. They didn't have to flee for their lives constantly and could focus entirely on leveling up. By contrast, those stuck running without a moment's rest were far worse off. But that was just how unfair this world was. Glancing at the fishing rod in his hands, a burning resolve lit up Li Shuang's eyes. Every level he gained granted him a divine enhancement, a reward no treasure chest could ever compare to. Li Shuang grew more and more eager to unlock his next buff. No time to waste, he got straight to work. After a flurry of fishing, Li Shuang reeled in over a dozen sea fish plus 2 more wooden treasure chests. He pried open both chests at once, and their rewards appeared on the interface. Item name, wooden treasure chest times 2. Reward contents, rubber times 20, steel times 20, bread times 5, instant noodles times 3, mineral water times 4. Thrilled, Li Shuang opened the vehicle upgrade module. Vehicle upgrade, LV1, LV2. Required materials, rubber 30/50, insufficient, steel 30/20, satisfied. I'm still short some rubber to hit level 2. Li Shuang stroked his chin, deep in thought. The grayed-out upgrade button hovered on screen, but he felt no discouragement. He cast his line out again, without delay. Over an hour later, he finally looted enough materials from 2 more wooden chests. One chest even dropped a universal energy cell. Item name, universal energy cell. Item description, all-purpose energy source compatible with any vehicle, providing a 100-kilometer cruising range. Li Shuang frowned. The item was rather useless to him, yet he stored it away carefully anyway. Now for the most important step. Rubber 50/50, satisfied. Steel 50/20, satisfied. Confirm upgrade? Confirm. Li Shuang tapped the upgrade button without hesitation. The rubber dinghy beneath him suddenly glowed faint blue all over. More than that, the craft gradually turned translucent blue, every structural layer and material laid bare like something out of a sci-fi movie. A cabin structure miraculously extended from the original small, open deck. Finally, 2 translucent blue metal walls fused together, forming the basic frame of the upgraded vessel. Vehicle, rubber dinghy. Level, LV2. Max speed, 100 km per hour. Armament, none. Defense, 20. Basic armor, can barely withstand attacks from LV-1C sirens. Direct confrontation is not recommended. Durability, 100. Thruster power, unlimited. System evaluation, reinforced rubber dinghy with complete basic fittings. Powerful engine and top speed, easily outrunning Ghost Mist, though defensive capability remains weak. The blue glow faded, revealing a brand new boat before him. The worn, cracked rubber hull had thickened and stiffened entirely. The vessel had grown noticeably larger, no longer cramped as it once was. The biggest upgrade was the newly added control cabin. A row of storage lockers sat beneath the helm for stowing supplies. 2 life rings were mounted on each side of the hull, and the rear thruster had also been enlarged. The dark hull rumbled with a deeper, heavier hum, filling Li Shuang with a powerful sense of stability. With the cabin installed, the thruster joystick had been removed. Li Shuang no longer needed to hunch over sideways to steer. Operations were far more convenient now. His old dinghy offered zero shade. Sunlight had left his face burning, and his lips chapped raw every day. The new cabin blocked direct sunlight, making daytime travel far more bearable. Congratulations to survivor Li Shuang for upgrading his level 2 vehicle. Fishing rod upgraded to level 2. The familiar system chime rang out. The fishing rod in Li Shuang's hands shimmered blue, sturdier and weightier than before. Item name, fishing rod. Level, LV2. Chest drop rates. Wooden chest 40, iron chest 5, bronze chest 0.5, silver chest 0.1, gold chest 0. System evaluation. LV2 fishing rod capable of catching small to medium fish. High chance to reel in wooden chests holding basic supplies. Moderate chance to obtain iron chests with advanced materials. Not bad at all. Li Shuang stared at his revamped dinghy in awe. It barely resembled a rubber boat anymore. It looked more like a tiny yacht. He stepped into the cabin, a compact space only a few square meters wide, something he'd never dared hope for before. Detected host's vehicle level, LV2. Issuing 1 divine enhancement card. It's here. The long-awaited system voice sounded wonderful to his ears. Li Shuang rubbed his hands together in anticipation. A shaft of golden light condensed into a card floating and rotating before him. Divine enhancement, modified vibranium coating. Enhancement description, apply coating to vehicle to absorb all shock waves, thermal energy, and sound waves, storing and releasing the captured energy on command. Note, this upgraded vibranium variant eliminates the original weakness to ultrasonic attacks. Detected compatible binding target within range, small rubber yacht. Use now? Yes, no? What's there to think about? Yes. He tapped confirm without hesitation. The golden card dissolved into a stream of gold light that wrapped around the yacht's hull and deck, laying a thin metallic film over every surface before fading away. Li Shuang scrambled onto the deck, running his palm over the metallic coating in disbelief. His simple rubber dinghy had transformed into a full vibranium-clad yacht. The vibranium coating lent the vessel a heavy, solid aura, radiating unmatched safety. Opening the vehicle stats panel, he saw the defense stat had completely changed. Vehicle, vibranium yacht. Level, LV2. Defense. Durability, 100. System evaluation, superior, flawless composite material. Resists all physical and sonic attacks, capable of crushing any foe that stands in your path. Li Shuang closed the panel, unrestrained elation spreading across his face. Unlimited power guaranteed his long-term survival on this deadly sea. And the vibranium coating gave him the confidence to race across the waters without fear. As long as he didn't recklessly court death, he would definitely live to the very end. Server-wide announcement. The first natural disaster is imminent. Disaster type, extreme heat. Countdown, 4 minutes and 58 seconds. All survivors, prepare accordingly. The cold mechanical alert jolted Li Shuang out of his excitement over the upgrade. He checked the time, 11:56 p.m. Extreme heat, huh? A smirk tugged at Li Shuang's lips. Others might panic, but with unlimited power at his disposal, this heat wave meant nothing to him. With a few minutes left on the clock, Li Shuang hauled all his caught fish and chest supplies into the cabin storage. Time ticked by, and the sea air grew thick, humid, and stifling. Li Shuang pulled up the system readout. The ocean temperature had hit 42 degrees Celsius and was still climbing slowly. It was the dead of night already. He dreaded to imagine how scorching it would become once sunrise hit. Once all supplies were neatly stowed, Li Shuang's back was soaked clear through with sweat. He sealed every window and door of the cabin without a second thought and flipped on the air conditioning. Cool, crisp air poured out from the vents. Li Shuang stood beneath the airflow with arms outstretched, savoring this rare comfort. The world channel erupted into chaos once the extreme heat disaster descended. Damn this weather. The sea breeze was chilly a minute ago. How's it suddenly hot enough to roast us alive? Water. Does anyone have water? I don't even have the strength to fish for chests anymore. I'm cooking alive out here. I drank my last bottle of mineral water, and I'm still burning up. Even the water's warm now. My yacht has AC, but I'm almost out of fuel. I don't dare turn it on. Tell me about it. We barely have enough energy to run from danger. Who wasted on cooling down? I can't breathe. My chest's tight and stifling. I'm melting. I've sweated so much I can't even pee anymore. Anyone with water? I'll trade bread for it. I've got steel, mandatory upgrade material, swap for water, DM me privately. I'm dying of thirst. Who wants your useless metal lumps? Everyone hurry fishing while it's still dark. Loot more chests for drinking water and food. Once the sun rises and temperatures spike higher, we won't be able to move at all. Does anyone have a universal energy cell? I can't stand the heat anymore. I need to run my AC. Help. Why isn't a single universal energy cell listed on the trading market? No duh, it's life-saving gear. Who'd be stupid enough to sell it? This hellish place. Ghost mist and blistering heat both at once. Are we even meant to survive? Wait, forget the heat. Something's swimming under my wooden boat. It's huge. Is it a fish? This sudden message grabbed every survivor's attention in the channel, followed by an attached photo. Moonlight rippled across the sea, a dark shadow shifting beneath the side of a wooden boat. The silhouette stretched nearly as long as the vessel itself. Run for your lives? That's a sea siren. I barely outran one on my jet ski a minute ago. A survivor who'd narrowly escaped the siren's attack sent out a desperate warning. Help! It's clawing at my boat. Something's circling my yacht too. Flee fast. These things can leave the water and climb aboard to attack. Waves of frantic cries flooded the channel, and Li Shuang realized how grave the threat truly was. The total survivor count in the top right corner plummeted rapidly, 100,000 people lost in mere minutes. Sea sirens were even deadlier than the ghost mist. Splash. The sound of churning water sent a chill down Li Shuang's spine. Glancing through the cabin glass, he saw 4 or 5 dark shadows had surrounded his yacht without him noticing. Ding. Detected host encircled by sea sirens. Target count, 5. Level, LV1. Strength, 20. Average adult male baseline, 6. Speed, 30. Average adult male baseline, 6. System evaluation. Fast basic sea sirens with far superior strength to humans. Sharp fangs can tear flesh apart effortlessly. Eliminate with thermal weapons or flee immediately. Sea sirens. Li Shuang looked slightly surprised. He'd thought ghost mist and extreme heat were already brutal enough. Yet another deadly threat had appeared. Still, he calmed his mind quickly. No wailing or desperate pleas like the other survivors. If this had happened before his upgrade, he would have had no choice but to run for dear life. Now though, who was the hunter and who was the prey? remained to be seen. A cold, ruthless smirk crossed Li Shuang's face as he slammed down the ignition switch. Let's see if your bodies are tougher than my vibranium yacht. Hum. The engine roared to life, the whole vessel shuddering as it adjusted its heading to accelerate. Sensing Li Shuang's intent, the closest siren lunged forward and lashed its claws onto the yacht's hull. Hisses, a tongue-flicking hiss like a giant lizard echoed as the siren's head peeked over the deck edge. Li Shuang finally got a clear look at the monster's true form. Its scaled skull sported a dorsal fin running all the way down to its tail. Slitted scarlet eyes locked straight onto Li Shuang inside the cabin. All four limbs were covered in scales, webbed between the claws, with jagged bony spurs protruding from every joint. The siren split its massive jaws wide, rows of hooked fangs dripping sticky, stringy saliva, clearly salivating over the human inside the yacht. Li Shuang narrowed his eyes and stepped back half a pace instinctively. Damn, that's one uniquely ugly creature. In an instant, the yacht surged forward at full throttle. The siren clinging to the hull was flung violently into the water by the sudden momentum. The howl of wind and crashing waves merged as the yacht charged ahead at 100 kilometers per hour. The commotion drew countless more sea sirens from the depths. Glancing down into the water, pairs of glowing red eyes surged rapidly toward the yacht. The nightmarish sight that would terrify most people barely fazed Li Shuang. Another siren lunged head-on straight for the bow. Suicide mission. Li Shuang let out a cold snort. Boom. A dull crash echoed as the siren's skull was crushed to pulp on the vibranium hull. Stinking green bodily fluid splattered across the deck, mixed with broken scales and shredded flesh. Ding. Vehicle impact detected. Durability, 100. Ding. LV-1 speed type, sea siren eliminated. Drop 1. LV-3 vehicle blueprint fragment times 1. 5 fragments combine into a full LV-3 vehicle blueprint, required to upgrade LV-2 vehicles to LV-3. Drop 2. Ocean coins times 10. Drop 3. Hot pot base times 1. A string of system notification chimes rang out one after another. Inside the control room, Li Shuang stared at the hot pot base and level 3 vehicle blueprint fragments scattered across the floor, unable to suppress a wide grin spreading across his face. I didn't expect slaying sirens would drop rewards too. Li Shuang glanced excitedly at his panel balance. 10 ocean coins had landed neatly in his account. He carefully stowed the level 3 vehicle blueprint shards and hot pot seasoning packets away in his storage locker. Originally, Li Shuang had only planned to blast a clear path and shake off these annoying sea sirens. But learning they dropped valuable loot completely flipped his mindset. Ram them full speed. The yacht's electric motor roared at maximum output, cutting through waves with deafening wind and surging spray as it careened wildly across the open sea. Wherever the vibranium yacht passed, mangled siren corpses floated amid sickly green bodily fluids coating the water's surface. Ding. Slay level 1 swift siren. Loot. 10 ocean coins, 1 electric fan, 1 Odin meal set. Ding. Slay level 1 swift siren. Loot. 10 ocean coins, 1 bottle of vodka, 5 rolls of toilet paper. Ding. Slay level 1 swift siren. Loot. 10 ocean coins, 1 bottle of iodine disinfectant. Ding. Slay. Endless notification alerts echoed inside his head, and Li Shuang lost track of the kill count entirely. He steered the vibranium yacht crashing straight forward into the distance, drawing the stares of every fleeing survivor within sight of the commotion. Holy hell, what is that thing? Is that a yacht? Damn, how's it moving that fast? He's charging straight into the sirens. Isn't he even dodging? Survivors close enough to witness the horrifying scene captured footage, which instantly blew up the World Chat channel. How is his yacht that sturdy? That's impossible. He slammed into dozens of sirens without a single scratch. How did he pull that off? That's the guy from the live stream earlier today. Are you kidding me? We barely escaped with our lives scraping by to outrun the sirens. And he's packing a top-tier vehicle like that? Big shot. Take me with you. I'm a club hostess. Anything you want. I'll comply as long as you shelter me. Boss, save me. I'm a head chef. I can cook all kinds of meals. I'm a mechanic. I can repair and refit any vehicle. I'm way more useful than the others if you let me tag along. Help. My boat got torn open by sirens. It's sinking fast. Li Shuang had no idea the entire World Chat was erupting over him. Once he broke free of the siren horde, he wasted no time sorting and tallying all his dropped loot. Level 3 vehicle blueprint fragments times 7, ocean coins times 1030, steel times 305, rubber times 108, electromagnetic components times 11. Drinking water times 32, hot pot base times 4, ham sausages times 18, foil balloons times 10, made outfit set times 1, universal energy cells times 9, electric fan times 2, Odin meal set times 3, toilet paper times 31, iodine disinfectant times 2, vodka times 5, cola times 15, freshwater converter times 1. Instant single bed blueprint times 1, one-time use. Auto constructs upon activation. Instant refrigerator blueprint times 1, one-time use. Auto constructs upon activation. TSK, TSK, TSK. These aren't even deadly sirens, they're walking lucky mascots. Li Shuang marveled at the abundant supplies filling his control room. Still, the level 3 vehicle blueprints were what piqued his interest most. He pulled out the 7 fragmented blueprint pieces and examined them closely. Ding. Sufficient blueprint fragments detected. Synthesize complete level 3 vehicle blueprint? Yes, no? Finally, time to hit tier 3. Li Shuang licked his lips and immediately tapped yes. 5 shards floated up and converged mid-air. A burst of white light flashed, and a full intact level 3 vehicle blueprint drifted down. Li Shuang reached out and caught it swiftly. The second his fingers touched the blueprint, another system chime sounded. Vehicle upgrade. Level 2, Level 3. Required materials. Level 3 vehicle blueprint 1 first. Completed. Rubber 108 100ths. Completed. Steel 305 200ths. Completed. Electromagnetic components November 5th. Completed. Proceed with upgrade? Yes, no? Up to this moment, no other survivor across the entire server had unlocked a level 3 vehicle. Thanks to his vibranium yacht, Li Shuang had gathered all required materials at record speed. Most people could barely survive the toxic mist and scorching heat, let alone fend off deadly sea sirens. Many didn't even own a level 2 craft. I wonder what reward I'll get for being the first tier 3 vehicle owner. Filled with anticipation, Li Shuang firmly selected the upgrade option. Countless materials swirled together into a glowing stream and merged into the yacht's hull. The translucent blue vessel stirred as if alive, undergoing drastic transformation. The yacht's hull expanded massively, and the control room grew far more spacious. Its semi-transparent deck stretched outward in all directions. Li Shuang glanced down and spotted 2 sirens closing in beneath the hull. He worried briefly that the vibranium coating might fail mid-upgrade. Just as the creatures crashed hard into the boat's bottom. Boom. A deafening dull impact echoed out. The siren attack did absolutely nothing. Green blood oozed from the beasts' cracked skulls, and they fled in agony. Li Shuang's tense heart finally relaxed. Judging by the yacht's transformation, the upgrade would take a while to finish. With free time on his hands, he pulled out the single bed and refrigerator blueprints to inspect them. Blueprint name, Instant Single Bed Blueprint times 1. Blueprint name, Instant Refrigerator Blueprint times 1. Instantly generate item? Yes, no? After Li Shuang confirmed the command, the 2 blueprints dissolved into streams of white light that solidified on the transparent deck, forming a sturdy single bed and a double-door refrigerator. Li Shuang grew more impressed with these instant blueprints. One tap eliminated hours of tedious crafting work entirely. Suddenly, his gaze fell on the freshwater converter he'd looted earlier. Item name, Freshwater Converter. Item description, converts seawater into potable drinking water. Requires constant power supply. Produces 1 liter of freshwater per 24-hour runtime. System rating, low-tier freshwater converter, utterly mediocre. High energy consumption, extremely low conversion efficiency. 1 liter every 24 hours. Truth be told, the efficiency was abysmally slow, and it demanded non-stop power to run. But for Li Shuang with limitless universal energy, power cost him nothing at all. An extra liter of clean water every single day wasn't mediocre, it was a steady lifeline income. If I could stockpile more of these converters. A sharp thought crossed Li Shuang's mind. Right now, nearly all survivors were scrambling just to stay alive day by day. Basic supplies like food, and especially freshwater, were priceless commodities. Coupled with the extreme heat disaster ravaging the world, everyone's reliance on drinking water had skyrocketed. He could sell fresh water, even chilled cold water, now that he owned a refrigerator. Li Shuang opened the world chat channel, hesitated briefly, then posted a trade message. Anyone holding freshwater converters? I'll trade universal energy cells for them. DM me to negotiate. Holy crap, a top player selling universal energy packs? What even is a freshwater converter? Big shot Li Shuang, I've got 2. I'll sell both to you. Brotherly, I sent you a friend request. I have 1 converter to trade. Please accept my invite. How's this possible? Who's this elite with surplus universal energy? The world chat enforced real name registration for all users, so everyone could see each other's displayed usernames clearly. I hooked one of those converters up for over an hour and only got a few sips of water. Why would you want that useless junk? Cut the snark. Li Shuang obviously has more energy than he can use. What's your problem? Ooh, look, another sycophant. Do you think sucking up to him will earn you free energy? Mind your own business. Boss, ignore him. I also have a freshwater converter. Accept my friend request, moi. Brother Li Shuang, you must have massive energy reserves. How about teaming up with us to cooperate long-term? Join our crew, boss. My jet ski hits insane speeds. No mist or sirens can catch up to it. The chat flooded with endless scrolling arguments and pleas. Li Shuang simply closed the channel feed and sorted through his pending friend requests instead. Freshwater converters weren't rare high-tier gear, but this was only the first day of the apocalypse, so not many survivors had obtained them yet. Luckily, the device was far too inefficient for ordinary players to bother hoarding, and with thousands of users active in world chat, plenty were willing to trade theirs away. Li Shuang currently held 10 universal energy cells in storage. He accepted 10 friend requests at random and initiated private trade windows with each person individually. The hologram scanner absorbed the 10 energy cells, which vanished like nerve signals fading away. In the blink of an eye, bright light flashed again, and 10 freshwater converters materialized all at once across his deck. 10 new converters plus my original one. 11 total, 11 liters of fresh water produced daily. Li Shuang frowned. The volume still felt far too small. He scrolled through the remaining friend invites, hoping to find more trade partners. If anyone was willing to accept ocean coins as payment, that would work too. Brother Li Shuang, want to make a deal? I own a mid-tier freshwater converter, way more efficient than all those basic models other people have. A survivor named Yu Tao caught Li Shuang's eye, sending a friendly offer alongside his friend request. Mid-tier. Li Shuang's eyes lit up. All the converters he owned were low-grade. He'd never even heard of a mid-tier variant. The fact Yu Tao possessed one meant he was no ordinary survivor. After accepting the friend request, Yu Tao immediately shared the item stats in their private chat. Item name, freshwater converter. Item description, converts seawater into safe drinking water, requires constant power operation. Produces 100 liters of freshwater every 24 hours. System rating, mid-tier freshwater converter. Conversion efficiency drastically upgraded, yet energy drain is 100 times greater than low-tier models. Exercise caution when trading. It's actually mid-tier, 100 liters of water a day. Li Shuang's heart raced with excitement. With this device, he'd have more than enough water for drinking, laundry, even full baths. Deal. But I'm out of universal energy cells. Would you accept ocean coins instead? Li Shuang sent the message and stared intently at the chat window, waiting for a reply. He still hadn't fully gauged the market value of ocean coins. Right now, even basic materials like steel, rubber, lumber, and plastic sold out instantly the second anyone listed them for trade. Once survivors stabilized their living conditions a few days later, material supplies would flood the market and stable pricing would settle in. Yu Tao didn't reply immediately, clearly torn and hesitant. After a 2-minute wait, his response finally popped up. Brother Li Shuang, to be honest, energy cells are what my group lacks most desperately. May I ask, you're offering universal energy for trades, so do you have a steady, reliable source of power reserves? Li Shuang's brows tightened. He had zero intention of revealing his unlimited energy supply to outsiders. After a moment's thought, he typed his reply and hit send. I have enough for my own use for now. Sensing Li Shuang's guarded tone, Yu Tao rushed to explain himself. Here's the situation. My vehicle is a large ferry. 6 survivors live aboard with me right now. I rescued most of them. Others sought refuge with us voluntarily. Their own small craft were too shoddy to survive alone, so we banded together for safety. Naturally, I know how hard it is to endure this apocalypse solo, so there's self-interest behind letting them join our crew as well. But in this harsh wasteland, mutual aid is the only way to survive long-term. 6 people gathering materials and supplies all for one main vehicle drastically boosts our overall efficiency. Li Shuang was somewhat stunned by Yu Tao's plan. While small groups did yield higher resource collection rates, they also carried countless hidden risks. Human hearts were unpredictable, especially in a world where people would commit any atrocity just to stay alive. Brother Li Shuang, if you join our fleet, you'll fare far better than surviving alone. What's more, our crew has gathered every material needed to upgrade a level 3 vehicle. We only lack one final level 3 blueprint fragment. Once we collect that last shard, our ferry will become the server's first tier 3 vehicle. Yu Tao's words brimmed with ambition and tempting promises. Most players would have jumped at the offer without hesitation. Glancing at his own yacht mid-upgrade, Li Shuang felt zero urge to team up with the man. It was striking how quickly Yu Tao's group had gathered all upgrade materials, nearly matching Li Shuang's own pace after non-stop monster hunting. By the mid to late stages of the apocalypse, Yu Tao's fleet would undoubtedly grow into a formidable force. No thanks. I have no plans to join any crew for the time being. Rejected outright, Yu Tao didn't press the matter aggressively. No hard feelings. Caution is only sensible in these times. More allies mean more paths to survival after all. I don't have much use for this mid-tier converter anyway. How about we trade it for 20 bottles of drinking water? Li Shuang nodded faintly. The asking price was reasonable. Fresh water was extremely scarce right now, and the converter's massive power drain made it nearly useless to Yu Tao's group, which explained his willingness to part with it cheaply. Agreed. As soon as he sent the confirmation, the mid-tier freshwater converter teleported onto his deck. This unit was visibly far larger than all low-tier models, completely eliminating Li Shuang's worries about water shortages for good. Elsewhere out on the open water, Yu Tao stared blankly at the 20 bottles of fresh water that had materialized out of thin air after completing the trade. He has unlimited power reserves and can produce this much water on demand at a moment's notice. Li Shuang, you've only made me more curious about you. Yu Tao's gaze swirled with confusion and cold, killing intent. 5 other men sat around an old wooden table inside the ferry's control room, chowing down on various instant food packets. The control cabin was spacious, and 3 ragged women huddled bound together in the corner, their faces ashen blue, bodies trembling non-stop from terror and deprivation. Out on the outer deck, 5 male survivors were chained tight to the railings, each gripping a fishing rod. Their clothes were caked in mud, footprints, and fresh bruises from beatings. Their stares were hollow, their skin peeling badly from unrelenting heat and dehydration. Brother Yu, I say we charge over there right now and rob him of all his energy cells. We've got a whole crew. What have we got to fear? One crew member chugged a bottle of water greedily, his face flushed bright red from the sweltering heat, voice sharp and impatient. Exactly. If he's hoarding that many freshwater converters, he must have endless energy cells stashed away. The rest of the gang chimed in to egg him on. If we seize his stock, our former office sales team will be unbeatable out here. Ha ha. We scammed people back at the corporate compound, and now we'll pull off the biggest heist of this doomsday world. Yu Tao's eyes turned icy, his tone carrying unshakable domineering pressure. Hold your horses. Wait until our ferry hits level 3 first, then we'll swindle more survivors and consolidate our manpower. In the meantime, keep scouting world chat for new targets to mark. Once the first weekly performance tally comes through, we'll have all the food and women we could want. Do I make myself clear? Understood. The 5 men shouted in unison, their faces twisted with deranged excitement. Li Shuang stared fixedly at the vibranium yacht nearing the end of its upgrade. The final section of railings solidified completely, and a server-wide system announcement blared out instantly. Congratulations to survivor Li Shuang for upgrading his vehicle to LV3. You have earned the server first LV3 vehicle achievement. Fishing rod unlocked to Tier 3. Rewards: silver treasure chest times 5, gold treasure chest times 1 inch. It's done. Li Shuang stretched his arms out in relief. The vibranium yacht before him had grown another full size compared to its previous form. The cramped control room on the deck had expanded drastically and was now split into 2 stories. The first floor housed the control cabin, while the second served as a rest lounge. Beyond that, the bottom hull cabin was equally spacious, usable as a warehouse for storing all supplies. Moving to the yacht's bow lay a flat, empty deck half the size of a badminton court. Standing at the prow, he watched the split waves rush backward on either side. A LV3 vehicle had even unlocked cruise control. Though the auto cruise switch could be turned off at any time, Li Shuang had zero worries about power endurance. That was the privilege granted by infinite energy. Holy hell, it's Li Shuang again. How'd he hit LV3 this fast? Is he cheating? I'm worn to the bone and still haven't gathered enough electromagnetic components. How much longer do I have to grind? You're dreaming. Basic materials are only the first hurdle. You also need the LV3 vehicle upgrade blueprint, which only drops from killing sirens by chance. We're doomed. I can barely run away, and you expect me to hunt sirens? Are you joking? How many sirens must Li Shuang have slaughtered to gather all the materials for an upgrade this quickly? Could his vehicle be an amphibious tank? Don't tell me someone's already got an aircraft carrier. Brother Shuang, would you let me stay with you? I'm really good at swaying my hips. Look at me, Brother Shuang, slender frame with full curves. I'll knock you senseless. Take me with you, Brother Shuang. I'll fish treasure chests for you. LOL, he got silver and gold chests for being the first to hit the milestone. He doesn't need you digging up tiny wooden crates. Brother Li Shuang, I'm an underground fighter. I can be your bodyguard. Me. The world chat channel erupted once more. Li Shuang had caused another server-wide stir, lost count of how many times this had happened. Bang. Damn it, what's up with this kid? How did he collect all the LV3 vehicle blueprint fragments alone so fast? What's he using to slay that many sirens? Could it really be an amphibious tank? Inside the ferry's control room, Yu Tao smashed a half-full bottle of drinking water hard against the wall the second he heard the world announcement. The crumpled bottle rolled out onto the outer deck. One bound survivor, closest to the door, widened his eyes madly, snatched the bottle, and tilted his head back to greedily suck down every last drop of fresh water. Yu Tao's face turned stormy. He grabbed a rough rope whip and lashed out violently, roaring with unbridled rage. Useless. All of you are useless. Keep fishing now. A whole group of you can't even outperform a single Li Shuang. The whipped survivor collapsed to the ground, twisting and writhing in agony. Eventually, his struggles grew weaker and weaker until he went completely still. Yu Tao retracted the whip and shot a vicious glare at the remaining survivors. Terrified, they forced themselves to refocus, faces ashen. Even sweat dripped non-stop from the sweltering heat. A cold chill crept up their spines. Yu Tao withdrew his glare and spoke in an icy tone. Chop this pig up and divide the meat among yourselves. Get back to fishing for sirens. Understood, brother Yu. Several lackeys dragged the corpse out onto the deck with practiced movements. The sharp hacking sound of cleavers slicing flesh echoed clearly without pause. The crunch of bones splitting never ceased, as if every blow landed straight on the survivors' hearts, making them tremble uncontrollably. Yu Tao glanced out toward the distant sea and let out a cold snort. To gather enough LV3 vehicle blueprint fragments, he used dead survivors as bait to lure sirens. These sea monsters possessed limited intelligence. Once they took the hook, they would never let go even at the cost of their lives. The system-provided fishing rods were indestructible. Not even sirens could snap the rod or fishing line. He exploited these mechanics, using his large group to repeatedly reel in and slaughter sirens for rewards. Li Shuang, no matter how many supplies and how much energy you hoard, everything will belong to me one day. Achoo! Li Shuang rubbed his itchy nose. The familiar system chime sounded again the very next second. Detected host vehicle tier, LV3, issuing one god tier enchantment card. Blinding golden lights swirled into existence. Before the golden card fully solidified, Li Shuang snatched it into his hand. God tier enchantment, infinite storage space. Enchantment description. This enchantment can be bound to a physical object, linking it to a boundless virtual storage dimension. Note: time flow inside this space is infinitely slowed. Living creatures cannot be stored within. Please select a carrier object to bind. Unbridled delight spread across Li Shuang's face. He would no longer have to pile mountains of supplies around himself. Fish, meat, and even vegetables would stay perfectly fresh indefinitely. Let me think, what should I bind it to? Li Shuang returned to the control cabin and stared at the storage cabinet beside the console, deep in thought. Nah, the second floor's my bedroom. I'd have to run downstairs every time I grab something. He walked up to the second floor and glanced at the nightstand, then shook his head after a moment's consideration. As he stroked his chin brainstorming, his gaze fell on the ring on his finger, and a brilliant idea popped into his head. Binding target, titanium alloy ring. Confirm binding? Yes, /no. You're the one, my little treasure. The golden card melted into a stream of light that flooded into the ring. Once the golden glow faded, a spatial ring rested on his finger. Its appearance and design hadn't changed at all, yet its cool metallic touch made it clear this was no ordinary piece of jewelry anymore. Li Shuang held out his hand, and the several treasure chests awarded by the system vanished instantly into the ring. With a single thought, a silver treasure chest materialized and flipped into his palm out of thin air. Perfect. After figuring out how to operate it, Li Shuang gave a satisfied verdict. Next, let's see what rewards we get from the milestone chests for the server's first LV3 vehicle. Li Shuang waved his hand wide, and 5 silver glowing treasure chests lined up neatly on the deck before him. Open. 5 streaks of silver light burst forth, and all loot inside the chests sorted itself out automatically. Item: silver treasure chest ×5. Rewards obtained: smart chip ×1, mandatory material for LV4 vehicle upgrade. Loyalty scroll ×1. Use on living targets to erase all hostility. Target will never betray you. LV4 vehicle blueprint fragment ×1. Mandatory material for LV4 vehicle upgrade. 20 fragments combined into a complete LV4 blueprint. European-style double-bed schematic ×1, instant deployable, shock-absorbent, and silent. Resting here accelerates sanity recovery and grants 5 times faster physical wound healing speed. Basic kitchenware set ×1, complete pots, pans, tableware, able to prepare hearty dinners even during doomsday evasion. Li Shuang read through the list carefully. Every reward was extremely valuable. The smart chip was required to advance to LV4, and only one had dropped from the silver chests. Its importance spoke for itself. The vehicle blueprint fragments were self-explanatory. As for the kitchenware, he now had unlimited power and fresh water, and the vibranium yacht was perfectly safe, so boosting his standard of living was only natural. The double bed, however, caught him by surprise. A 5x healing multiplier sounded modest on paper, yet it was incredibly valuable. Even severe non-life-threatening bleeding wounds could mend while resting on it. Though he was perfectly safe inside the vibranium yacht, an extra safety buffer never hurt. Silver tier chests already had a chance to drop gear with permanent passive buffs like this. Now for the grand prize. Li Shuang narrowed his eyes, turning his attention to the single treasure chest shimmering with brilliant golden light. Item: Gold treasure chest ×1. Reward obtained: Mechanical module ×1. Item description: This module can fuse with mechanical frameworks to enable fully autonomous operation, eliminating manual control requirements. Note: the module requires a continuous energy supply. Perpetual motion is not achievable. Whoa, cutting-edge tech. No wonder it's a gold chest reward. After reading the description, Li Shuang instantly knew what to pair it with. Installing it to pilot the yacht would be redundant. The LV3 yacht already featured cruise control. While not this advanced, it didn't need constant human oversight. Air conditioners, freshwater converters, and all kitchen appliances could run non-stop once connected to the energy core. The only piece of equipment that could truly save him endless labor was his fishing rod. Li Shuang picked up the blue and gold mechanical module from the chest, then grabbed his LV3 fishing rod. Ding. Detected bindable target. LV3 fishing rod. Confirm binding? Yes, /no, yes. Li Shuang confirmed without hesitation. Both items levitated, glowing brightly, and fused together in an instant. The upgraded LV3 fishing rod now sported a mechanical base, resembling a miniature turret mounted with a fishing pole, radiating cool blue metallic sheen. The original dozen-meter rod shrank down to a tiny, intricate figurine-sized model hovering lightly in Li Shuang's palm. Ding. LV3 Auto Fishing Rod Fusion complete. Please select a placement zone. Holding the tiny rod figurine, Li Shuang walked to the center of the forward deck, the yacht's widest open area, ideal for setting up the fishing rig, with space to temporarily store caught fish and treasure chests. This spot'll do. Li Shuang set the rod down gently. The moment its base touched the deck, the LV3 Auto Fishing Rod expanded rapidly back to its original dozen-meter length. Its slender pole extended far past the yacht's bow, and the fishing line cast automatically in a flawless arc, its precision rivaling that of a master angler. Now I don't have to bake under the sun fishing myself. A wide, happy grin spread across his face as he watched the rod operate non-stop on its own. The sweltering heat was brutal right now, and he was the only survivor across the entire server with fully automated fishing. While everyone else baked under scorching sunlight waiting for bites, he could lounge in air-conditioned comfort sipping icy drinks, slay sirens, and collect rewards at his leisure. Not to mention an endless stream of treasure chests unlocking every hour of every day. A full row of freshwater converters lined the hull beneath the deck. After Li Shuang linked them to the infinite energy core, they ran continuously. He pulled up the system panel, where stats for his LV3 vehicle and new LV3 fishing rod had updated. Li Shuang focused on the fishing rod's parameters. Item name: fishing rod. Tier: LV3. Chest drop rates: wooden chest, 60 iron chest, 20 bronze chest, 10 silver chest, 1 gold chest, 0.5 platinum chest, 0. With an auto fishing rig running 24/7, Li Shuang had zero concerns about drop odds. He could attend to his own business all day and come back to open chests whenever he pleased. If other survivors caught wind of this, they'd seethe with jealousy. Li Shuang deployed the kitchenware and the double bed schematic, then set up his refrigerator. To his pleasant surprise, the second-floor lounge featured a compact layout with a kitchen, bathroom, and private bedroom. Though modest in size, it was more than enough space for one person. The bathroom came equipped with a flush toilet and shower, luxuries that drastically improved quality of life. especially with unlimited fresh water at his disposal. He slept soundly through the late hours of the night and woke up at high noon. Blinding sunlight streamed through the windows, bathing everything in stifling heat. Li Shuang pushed open the cabin door, and a thick, fishy wave of muggy heat washed over him. It felt as though he'd stepped inside a pressure cooker. The damp, blazing warmth left a burning tingle across his skin. The extreme midday heat laid bare the eerie, despairing reality of the natural disaster. Anyone exposed to this temperature for long would either die of dehydration or heat stroke. Li Shuang understood Third Brother's vision more and more. Whoever invented the Himalayan mountain range was a genius. Back on the deck, the auto fishing rod tirelessly cast and reeled non-stop. Li Shuang quickly counted the haul: 26 wooden chests, 5 iron chests, 2 bronze chests. He stored all chests inside his spatial ring, then turned and darted straight back into the air-conditioned lounge without a second glance outside. The moment the door shut, crisp 25 degrees Celsius air wrapped around him, making every hair on his body stand on end in relief. He opened the refrigerator, pulled out a can of icy cola, and chugged it straight down. The frosty soda slid down his throat like sweet nectar, chasing the scorching heat out of every limb. He let out a long, satisfied burp, finally cooling off completely. He had no intention of stepping back outside unless absolutely necessary in this heat. After opening every treasure chest, Li Shuang tallied up all his morning loot: steel times 80, rubber times 35, electromagnetic components times 3, Coca-Cola times 10, drinking water times 10, packaged beef hot pot slices times 3, Teacher Zhang's signature chocolate ice cream bars times 5, tomahawk steaks times 2, Romani Connie red wine times 1, body wash times 1, silk quilts times 2, universal energy cells times 2, folding utility knife times 1. Once finished counting, Li Shuang stowed all water and cola in the refrigerator and transferred the rest of the loot into his spatial ring. While he'd been asleep, the yacht's freshwater tank had filled with over 48 liters of purified water. Li Shuang headed to the shower room and took a long, refreshing bath. Sweat had dried and reformed on his skin repeatedly over the past 2 days, leaving him sticky and itchy all over. With no spare change of clothes, he stripped off his dirty shirt and shorts and hand-washed them. After wringing them out and hanging them on the outer deck, the extreme heat baked the garments scorching hot in barely 10 minutes. The yacht continued cruising at a steady moderate speed, already more than 30 hours travel away from the ghost fog zone. There was no need to push the engine to full power. Li Shuang lay back on the bed, gazing out the window at the endless sea and blue sky. For a moment, it no longer felt like a desperate survival mission. It felt like a leisurely ocean vacation. Beneath the waves, stray sirens occasionally surfaced. Some foolish ones spotted the vibranium yacht's movement and charged straight toward it. The outcome was inevitable. Ding. Slain LV-1 controller siren. Rewards: Ocean coins times 10, Wallace laxative meal pack times 1. Ding. Slain LV-1 swift siren. Rewards: Ocean coins times 10, Loasafen noodle meal pack times 2. System kill notifications chimed in at regular intervals, and all dropped loot automatically teleported into his spatial ring. Suddenly, a tiny fishing boat appeared on the distant water, heading straight for Li Shuang's yacht. The woman aboard was covered head to toe in filth. Matted, greasy strands of hair stuck to her smudged cheeks, raw terror etched across her face beneath ruined makeup. An old diesel engine sputtered and roared at the stern, belching thick black smoke as it strained to keep the boat moving. Though caked in grime, her pale thighs and curvy figure stood out sharply. Her deep-cut top strained with every panicked breath, barely containing her chest. As the gap between the two vessels narrowed, Li Shuang spotted a siren hot on the fishing boat's trail. The monster coiled and lunged, its blood-red jaws snapping straight for the woman. At the last split second, the woman cranked the wheel hard left, narrowly dodging the attack, but the siren still slammed hard into the boat's hull. The damage to the hull seemed minor, yet seawater poured steadily through the cracks. The woman's face was etched with panic, and she had no tools within reach. Desperate, she stripped off her blouse and jammed the shirt deep into the crack in her fishing boat's hull. Seawater continued seeping in, making it clear the makeshift fix was useless. Her complexion turned ashen, tears welling in her eyes from terror and anxiety. In her frantic scanning, she spotted a vibranium yacht cruising steadily not far away. The sea monster closing in behind her left her no time to hesitate. She bit her lip, steeling her resolve. Put. The fishing boat's diesel engine roared louder as she floored the throttle, burning through the last of her fuel to race straight toward Li Shuang's yacht without a second thought. Li Shuang watched the scene clearly through the window, and instantly grasped her plan. Truth be told, he had no desire to intervene in this situation. In the apocalypse, human hearts were the deadliest threat of all. What's more, this was no longer the civilized world he'd known. There were no laws or restraints to stop murder or mercy in this lawless wasteland. Li Shuang had no wish to get tangled up in the fates of strangers. While he hesitated, the fishing boat pulled alongside the vibranium yacht. "Help! Somebody save me. Hello, does anyone hear me? I'm begging you to rescue me. A sea monster smashed a hole in my boat, and it's flooding bit by bit." Her voice was hollow and despairing. She tilted her slender, pale neck upward, gazing up at the yacht's lounge with raw pleading in her eyes. Hearing the commotion, Li Shuang stood and glanced down through the glass. The woman aboard the fishing boat lit up the moment she caught sight of him, redoubling her cries for salvation. Having discarded her blouse, she wore only lace lingerie that strained to contain her full figure, impossible to look away from. "Handsome sir, please save me. I'll do absolutely anything you ask if you spare my life." Her eyes glistened red as she dodged the sea monster bearing down from behind her, calling out to Li Shuang in urgent desperation. Her tear-streaked, vulnerable expression paired with her fair, curvy figure stirred an involuntary surge of tenderness in anyone who laid eyes on her. Li Shuang had been single for over 20 years, yet he forced down the flutter in his chest. Far more important to him than fleeting attraction was surviving without accidents or hidden dangers looming over him. Beneath the blistering heat, her vision blurred more and more by the second. Seeing Li Shuang make no move, she suddenly remembered something and shouted at the top of her lungs. "There's an exploration island nearby. I just fled from there. If you rescue me, I can lead you straight to it." An exploration island. Li Shuang's eyes lit up instantly. Seeing she'd piqued his interest, the woman clutched at this lifeline and quickly held up a tattered fragment. "This is a Tier 4 vehicle blueprint shard. I found it on that island. I swear I'm not lying to you." Li Shuang could no longer stay seated. A Tier 4 vehicle blueprint shard was exactly the rare resource he desperately needed. He only owned one so far, looted from a silver treasure chest. Silver treasure chests had an abysmally low drop rate. Even running his automatic fishing rod day and night all night long had yielded not a single one. What's more, not every silver chest contained a Tier 4 vehicle shard to begin with. If this woman had stumbled upon one while sailing a tiny fishing boat, the exploration island must be overflowing with supplies. Plus, all humans across the globe had been teleported to this ocean realm, meaning countless groups like Yutaos had banded together for survival. As these factions grew larger, pooling their supplies and manpower, they'd level up far faster than anyone alone. Li Shuang could not afford to slack off. Very well. Opportunity knocks but once. Li Shuang slid open the window and called down to her. "I'll lower the boarding ladder. Climb up by yourself." "Thank you, boss. Thank you so much." Overjoyed that Li Shuang had agreed to help, she nodded through her tears. She carefully maneuvered the fishing boat to press alongside the yacht's hull. Stepping out of the lounge onto the deck, Li Shuang was sweltering under the scorching sun's oppressive heat. He quickly lowered the ladder. The woman clung flat against the yacht's side, hauling herself upward inch by inch in a grueling climb. There was no safety harness to catch her. One misstep would send her plummeting into the sea to become the sea monster's meal. "Give me your hand." Li Shuang stretched out his palm toward her as she neared the top. She was bordering on severe dehydration, her eyes heavy and barely able to stay open. He wrapped his hand around her delicate, slender wrist, unfazed by the sticky sweat and grime coating her skin. Once she hauled herself onto the deck, the unmanned fishing boat drifted away from the yacht. Boom! Another heavy crash echoed. The empty fishing boat was rammed hard amidships by the surging sea monster. Already barely afloat, the vessel split clean in two under the blow and sank beneath the waves instantly. The woman stared at the sight, overcome with terror. If he'd hesitated even a few seconds longer, she would have been torn to shreds. Thank you, my name is Lu Xiaoxiao." She strained to utter her gratitude. Her cheeks flushed bright red from the sun. Her legs buckled, and she stumbled straight into Li Shuang's arms. "Lu Xiaoxiao, why does that name sound so familiar?" Li Shuang muttered to himself. He was too distracted to dwell on it as he steadied her and guided her back into the air-conditioned lounge. The moment the door opened, a wave of cool air wrapped around them both. Lu Xiaoxiao's foggy eyes shot wide with disbelief as her strength returned. A bedroom with crystal-clear glass windows, a soft, oversized bed, a spotless kitchen and bathroom, and this refreshing, icy cool air. Good heavens, was this paradise? Lu Xiaoxiao thought back to just moments ago, fleeing a sea monster under brutal heat, her lips cracked and parched, nearly dying of dehydration. To witness someone living in such comfort struck a flood of bitter grievance and giddy relief through her, and tears spilled down her cheeks. Li Shuang's heart twinged with pity at her state. He cleared his throat to break the moment. Ahem, there's a bathroom inside. You can shower and wash your clothes first. At his words, Lu Xiaoxiao suddenly realized she hadn't bathed in days. Her skin clung to her with sticky sweat and sour body odor, deepening the crimson flush across her sunburnt face. She practically fled into the bathroom and shut the door tight behind her. Splashing water echoed from within. Staring at the hot water streaming from the showerhead, Lu Xiaoxiao was overwhelmed with gratitude. She scrubbed the grime and sweat from her body, lathering herself with body wash. I never imagined a yacht like this would have running water for showers, she murmured to herself. She greedily sipped handfuls of warm water to soothe her scorched, dry throat. Worried about draining too much water and annoying Li Shuang, she rinsed quickly and shut off the shower. Yet a new problem arose. Her blouse had sunk to the bottom of the ocean along with her fishing boat. All she wore beneath was a three-piece lingerie set and thin shorts. She had nothing clean to change into. Just as she hesitated over how to ask, Li Shuang's voice drifted through the bathroom door. You don't seem to have a change of clothes. Wrap yourself in this bedsheet for now. Huh? Oh, okay, thank you. Lu Xiaoxiao snapped back to reality, cracked the door open a sliver. She took the neatly folded sheet he handed her. It was the matching linen sheet from the single bed he'd converted earlier, perfectly suited for the moment. A short while later, the bathroom door creaked open a crack. Lu Xiaoxiao stepped out shyly, wrapped head to toe in the sheet, her hair dripping wet as she stood awkwardly in the middle of the room. Li Shuang turned and stared blankly at her. Lu Xiaoxiao was swathed only in the thin bedsheet, folded once to barely cover her frame. Even so, the delicate fabric clinging to her curves outlined her flawless, voluptuous figure, leaving Li Shuang's throat dry. Catching Li Shuang's fixed gaze, a fleeting flicker of quiet pride and delight crossed Lu Xiaoxiao's eyes. Still, being openly stared at by a man she'd just met, fresh out of the shower, no less, made her squirm. She tugged the sheet tighter over her chest, yet her pale bare legs crossed in front of her, drawing the eye downward all the more. Her delicate bare feet stood on the floor, 10 tiny toes soft and pink, each coated in pale pink nail polish, as tempting as peeled lychee fruit. After a long beat, Li Shuang snapped out of his daze, embarrassed by his lapse in manners. It hit him why the name Lu Xiaoxiao had rung a bell earlier. Now that he saw her clean and fresh after her shower, he recognized her at last. Lu Xiaoxiao? Are you the national goddess Lu Xiaoxiao? Disbelief colored Li Shuang's tone. Though only 19 years old, Lu Xiaoxiao was an undisputed A-list rising star in the entertainment industry. Her baby-soft pure features, long pale legs, and striking curvy figure had rocketed her to fame. Despite reaching the top of the entertainment circle at such a young age, she had zero scandals or negative press over her years in the industry, paired with relentless hard work that only boosted her popularity higher. The untouchable goddess he'd only admired from afar now stood before him wrapped in a thin sheet. Clutching the fabric tight over her chest and thighs, her face flushed shy. So you know who I am, boss. Lu Xiaoxiao ducked her head shyly, tucking damp strands of hair behind her ear. Then a dark cloud fell over her expression, her tone turning sorrowful. I was just reading the script for my new film when everything went black. The next time I opened my eyes, I was stranded out at sea. This place is so bizarre, I don't even know if I'll ever get back home. Sigh. Li Shuang had no words to comfort her. All they could do was take things one day at a time. Still, no matter how harsh the world around them, there was no sense suffering unnecessarily. Li Shuang walked over to the kitchen, carried an induction hot plate to the lounge table. He pulled sliced hot pot meat and an Odin set from the refrigerator. Here, drink this first to calm down. As he set up the hot pot broth, he handed Lu Xiaoxiao an open can of icy cola. She stared at the drink in shock as her fingers brushed the frosty, almost freezing metal. She tilted her head and took a tiny tentative sip. The sharp cold sweetness slid down her throat, making her shiver all over. A single drop of undried water slid down her pale, slender neck, sinking between her cleavage, impossible to look away from. Li Shuang swallowed hard without making a sound, though Lu Xiaoxiao had set the cola down and hadn't noticed his wandering thoughts. In her old life, she'd never touched sugary carbonated drinks to maintain her figure and public image. But after surviving near death and sweltering heat, this single can of cold cola tasted more precious than gold. Lu Xiaoxiao rested her chin in her soft pink palm, watching Li Shuang stir the simmering broth as he bustled about. Rich, spicy hot pot aroma filled the air, making her small nose twitch like a kitten waiting to be fed, drawing Li Shuang's gaze again and again. Yet this was the apocalypse, and Li Shuang needed to lay his cards on the table to eliminate any lingering worries. You're unarmed and defenseless, and people's intentions are unpredictable in this world. If I'm honest, I can't fully trust you to have my back. Lu Xiaoxiao sat bolt upright in panic, alarm flickering across her face as she rushed to speak. No, I don't rush, let me finish. Seeing she'd misunderstood his meaning, Li Shuang hurried to soothe her. Now that I've saved you, I won't throw you overboard to feed the sea monster. Besides, your boat's gone. You'd have zero chance of survival without this yacht. But there are a few formalities we need to settle first. With that, Li Shuang pulled a loyalty scroll out of his spatial ring. Lu Xiaoxiao covered her mouth in shock at the sight of him producing an item out of thin air, a miracle to her eyes. While Li Shuang explained, "This is a loyalty scroll. Once activated, you will hold absolute loyalty to me, incapable of harboring any thoughts of betrayal or malice toward me. If you choose to serve under me, I will spare no effort to keep you alive alongside me. In return, you will assist me in running this yacht as my assistant. I don't keep idle hands around. If you refuse, I will transport you to that exploration island you mentioned, leaving you a supply of food and fresh water as payment for guiding me there. We will owe each other nothing afterward." Li Shuang's words were plain and unemotional. He was no saint, but neither was he a scoundrel. At the end of the day, this was simply a straightforward transaction between two strangers who'd only just met. Lu Xiaoxiao did not hesitate for long, her tone urgent. "Fine, I agree. How do I use this loyalty scroll?" "Huh? You're agreeing that quickly? Don't you think I'm threatening you? Don't you want to think it over?" Li Shuang stared, dumbfounded. In all the novels he'd read, heroines faced with such a demand would usually flush with humiliation and agree through tearful resentment. Seeing Li Shuang's stunned expression, Lu Xiaoxiao giggled behind her palm. "What other choice do I have? Would you rather leave me stranded to die on that island? I've thought it through clearly. I have no other options. What's more, you saved my life. I, Lu Xiaoxiao, am no ungrateful woman. You haven't only rescued me, you've fed me and given me shelter too. Any other man would have taken advantage of me already. That's how I know you're a good person. Besides, you have a clean, handsome face, 2 eyes and a nose, easy on the eyes. Even if you wanted something from me, it'd still beat being torn apart by a sea monster, heh." Her playful light joke melted the stiff tension in the room entirely. With that, Li Shuang set aside all lingering doubts and picked up the loyalty scroll. Ding. Detected host activating loyalty scroll. Binding target. Lu Xiaoxiao confirm activation? Yes. No. Yes. Li Shuang selected confirm, and the scroll burst into a wisp of glowing light that surged straight into Lu Xiaoxiao's forehead. She met Li Shuang's gaze calmly, offering no resistance as the magic took hold. Moments later, the system chime sounded once more. Ding. Binding complete. Target, Lu Xiaoxiao loyalty value, 100. With the ritual finished, Li Shuang finally breathed a sigh of relief and turned to ask Lu Xiaoxiao, "How do you feel? Any discomfort at all?" Lu Xiaoxiao pressed her soft red lips together, a flicker of mild confusion in her eyes as she replied evenly, "I don't feel anything out of the ordinary. It's just, looking at you feels far more agreeable now." A lack of drastic side effects was a good sign. It meant her core mindset hadn't been drastically altered by the scroll. She'd already held genuine goodwill and trust toward him from the start. "All right, let's eat first." Li Shuang smiled, the last trace of unease melting completely away. Come to think of it, this was the first proper, hearty meal he'd had since being transported to this hellish ocean world. Hell yeah, we can finally dig in. Lu Xiaoxiao bubbled with excitement, shuffling over to sit down like a tiny penguin. She looked completely at ease, not at all like someone who'd only met the other person less than an hour ago. Seeing her like this, a smile tugged at Li Shuang's lips. The tedious grind of survival suddenly felt a little more bearable. Thin slices of beef slid into the boiling pot, alongside skewers and fish balls, making for a hearty spread. Lu Xiaoxiao puffed her lips to blow away the steam, then popped a whole mouthful into her cheeks, her little face lighting up with satisfaction. Ooh, so hot and spicy. Even without assorted side dishes or dipping sauces, the two ate to their heart's content. Scalding, spicy fish balls burst open in their mouths, flooding their tongues with rich broth. Paired with ice-cold cola and the yacht's cool air conditioning, it almost felt as if their survival ordeal was nothing more than a leisurely ocean cruise. Halfway through the meal, Lu Xiaoxiao glanced over at Li Shuang and asked curiously, "By the way, since we're shipmates, what should I call you?" "Just Li Shuang." Li Shuang tilted his head back, drained the last of his cola in one gulp, and let out a satisfied burp. Li Shuang? You're the Li Shuang. At the name, Lu Xiaoxiao grew even more elated, undisguised admiration shining in her eyes. Now it was Li Shuang's turn to be confused. He couldn't recall ever crossing paths with her before. You know me? Of course I do. Aren't you the first player server-wide to hit level 3? I can't believe how lucky I am to share a boat with a level 3 legend. How did you pull it off? You're insanely good. Right now, only the leaders of the biggest guilds on the whole server are level 3, and they only got there by relying on massive numbers of members. How'd you outpace all of them all by yourself? Lu Xiaoxiao's eyes sparkled with stars as she pressed right up against Li Shuang, practically plastered to his side. The faint sweet scent of her body washed over him, and Li Shuang swallowed hard. His gaze drifted down to her deep, snow-white cleavage, and he stiffened instinctively. Seeming to notice his stare, Lu Xiaoxiao's face flushed bright red. She hastily clutched the slipping sheet covering her body, rubbing her tender, sore stomach as she edged backward. Embarrassed, Li Shuang quickly steered the conversation elsewhere. My yacht's hull is coated in vibranium plating. If sirens show up, I can just ram them straight down with no trouble at all. He went on to explain the freshwater converter and automatic fishing rod, giving her a basic breakdown of how each worked. They were in this together, so she'd find out about all of this sooner or later anyway. What's more, Lu Xiaoxiao had already used a loyalty scroll. That was the biggest source of reassurance for him. He also planned to leave all future supply buying and selling to her. An assistant ought to pull their weight. After finishing their meal, Lu Xiaoxiao stepped up to take on her role as his helper, gathering the tableware and heading to the kitchen to wash up. It had been so rare for her to feel safe in the apocalypse, and to land on the same boat as the server's first level 3 player. She was determined to seize this chance and prove her worth. Watching her hobble around awkwardly wrapped only in a sheet, Li Shuang rummaged through his spatial ring and pulled out a maid outfit he'd looted earlier, handing it to her. Put this on. You won't have to worry about accidental slips. Lu Xiaoxiao unwrapped the package in confusion, and a collar strung with tiny bells clattered to the floor. When she unfolded the full garment, she realized it was a frilly-made uniform complete with bunny ear headbands. The suggestive outfit made her cheeks burn instantly. She shot him a doe-eyed look laced with a mischievous little grin. So this is what you're into. You've got the wrong idea. I pulled this out of a treasure chest I fished up. Before Li Shuang could finish speaking, Lu Xiaoxiao held up the detachable foxtail that came with the set, eyeing him skeptically. This too? Li Shuang had no comeback left, only an awkward sheepish smile. While Lu Xiaoxiao changed and washed the dishes, Li Shuang headed down to the lower deck control room to recalibrate the yacht's cruising route. According to Lu Xiaoxiao's intel, the island lay out in the sea at the 3 o'clock bearing. They'd wasted so much time veering off course that it would take another 2 or 3 hours to reach it. Level 3 vessels didn't come equipped with radar navigation, so he could only head roughly in the right direction and hope for the best. Luckily, the open ocean stretched out endlessly. Any island would be clearly visible from miles away. Inside his spatial ring rested 2 fragments of a level 4 vessel blueprint. One had come from a silver treasure chest, the other Lu Xiaoxiao had handed over to him. He still needed 18 more fragments to piece together a full level 4 blueprint. Each tier grew harder to obtain than the last. The automatic fishing rod mounted on the deck kept reeling in catch after catch nonstop. Li Shuang glanced it over, saw nothing out of the ordinary, and headed back upstairs. He pushed open the lounge door to find Lu Xiaoxiao finished with all the chores, dressed in the maid uniform and pouring 2 cups of tea. They still had several hours of sailing left before reaching the island, and Li Shuang intended to rest up to conserve his energy. Opportunity always walked hand in hand with danger. He had no idea what threats awaited them on that island. Lu Xiaoxiao stepped shyly over to Li Shuang, looking as if she'd steeled herself for something, her face burning red as she dropped to her knees before him. Huh? What are you doing? Li Shuang was completely caught off guard by her sudden move. He reached out to pull her to her feet, but she grabbed hold of his wrists instead. Her almond eyes glistened with soft warmth. Her innocent young face held a sultry, bashful charm you'd never see on television dramas as she spoke gently. We've eaten, and I've bathed too. I've made up my mind to survive alongside you. I'm not a kid anymore. I know the unspoken rules between men and women. You've misread the situation. That's not what I had in mind at all. Li Shuang's own face flushed hot as he rushed to explain, only for Lu Xiaoxiao to tug at his belt while speaking in a flustered, soothing tone. Don't worry. I may not have personal experience, but I've watched videos about this sort of thing. The second the words left her mouth, Li Shuang felt himself being pulled down firmly, a tingle shooting straight up his scalp. He glanced down instinctively, catching sight of her fair bare back and the fluffy fox tail fastened to her outfit. Li Shuang's eyes went wide. He remembered that tail all too well. It was just a costume accessory. Damn, this girl's gonna be the death of me. Lu Xiaoxiao gently guided Li Shuang back onto the bed, and he stammered in a panic. Wait, stop, don't. Hearing his alarmed tone, Lu Xiaoxiao thought he was hurting from her lack of experience and froze mid-movement. No, don't stop. More than 2 hours later, Lu Xiaoxiao, her cheeks glowing rosy, suddenly stood up beside the window. Though she ached all over, she pointed excitedly at a tiny dark speck far out on the water, voice brimming with delight. Brother Shuang, look. That's it. At her shout, Li Shuang hurried over to the window and squinted into the distance. Sure enough, a small island stood isolated out on the sea ahead. Another half an hour passed before they finally pulled up alongside the island. It was already evening, yet the temperature still hovered above 40 degrees Celsius. Now that they'd traveled all this way, they had no choice but to go ashore and search thoroughly. Chances to find undiscovered islands were far too rare to pass up. The two stood on the yacht's deck as sweltering sea winds washed over them, thick with salty moisture that left their skins sticky and damp. Li Shuang scanned their surroundings. This island appeared to be a small coral atoll. From above, it spanned roughly the size of 8 football fields. Most of its landmass sat submerged beneath the waves. Only a quarter of its central ridge rose above the water's surface. To play it safe, Li Shuang steered the yacht in a full loop around the atoll's perimeter. The surrounding seawater was crystal clear, teeming only with ordinary schools of fish, no signs of lurking monsters. Having fled sirens from this very stretch of sea before, Lu Xiaoxiao grew visibly nervous and clung tightly to Li Shuang's arm. Her washed clothes had fully dried, but she no longer had her shirt. Only an undergarment covered her upper body, and her soft curves kept brushing against Li Shuang's arm every time she shifted. Now that they'd crossed that intimate line, the distance between them had shrunk dramatically. Once the yacht anchored at the shore, Li Shuang stepped onto the sand first, then lifted the stiff, sore Lu Xiaoxiao down beside him. Does it still hurt? At his question, Lu Xiaoxiao's flushed face twisted into a pout of grievance, and she chided him playfully. It's all your fault. I told you I couldn't take any more, but you just kept going. Ahem, how was I supposed to know it was your first time? Li Shuang laughed awkwardly, truly unaware she'd had no prior experience. They stood on soft, powdery beach sand. Beyond the shoreline lay nothing but thick clusters of trees, with no obvious landmarks sticking out. Li Shuang frowned in confusion and turned to Lu Xiaoxiao. You're certain the Level 4 vessel blueprint fragment was found on this exact island? Lu Xiaoxiao's gaze swept across the nearby tree line, and she nodded firmly. This is the place. Look over there, see that stone pillar? Following the direction of her finger, less than 10 meters from the beach, a thick stone jutted diagonally out of the dirt at the edge of the trees. Li Shuang hesitated for a moment. Then, beneath Lu Xiaoxiao's wide-eyed look of awe and admiration, he stored the entire vibranium yacht away inside his spatial ring. They walked over to the pillar, its surface coated in layers of dead leaves and thick moss. When he scraped away the decaying organic grime, dense, unfamiliar runes carved into the stone were revealed. Li Shuang's mind filled with suspicion. This small atoll was clearly far more than it seemed. After examining the pillar, Lu Xiaoxiao led him another dozen meters inland following her memory, then suddenly pointed forward joyfully. Look, that's the altar. In the cleared central space, deep within the trees, stood an ancient stone platform covering roughly 20 square meters. 6 identical rune-carved stone pillars ringed the altar, with one silver treasure chest resting at the base of each pillar. In dead center of the platform sat a gleaming gold treasure chest. Li Shuang's gaze locked onto the altar. This was nothing short of oceanic treasure trove. The server's first level 3 player had only been rewarded a single gold chest for the milestone. Yet one had simply been left abandoned on this tiny island. Li Shuang forced down his surging excitement and didn't rush straight over. He bent down, picked up a rotting coconut off the ground, and tossed it cautiously toward the altar as a test. Clunk, roll, roll, roll. The coconut oozed green putrid liquid as it tumbled across the stone surface, finally skidding to a halt against one of the pillars. Watching Li Shuang's overly cautious move, Lu Xiaoxiao covered her mouth and giggled. It's fine. I looted one of the silver chests last time I came here. There aren't any hidden traps. But right after I took the chest, dozens of sirens swarmed the surrounding waters as if summoned by some signal. Must have been over a dozen of them. As long as we hurry, we'll be totally fine. Lu Xiaoxiao recounted her past encounter vividly, still trembling a little at the memory. But thinking of Li Shuang's indestructible vibranium yacht and his incredible abilities, she felt fully confident this time around. Annoyed that the girl was teasing him, Li Shuang shot her a deadpan glare. Better safe than sorry. Did you already forget how close we came to dying just half a day ago? All right. You're absolutely right. Master chastened, Lu Xiaoxiao rubbed her shoulder playfully against his arm in a coquettish manner. Her sweet, alluring expression made her look like a little temptress who'd swallow you whole without a second thought, and Li Shuang quickly diverted his eyes. Focus on the main objective. They exchanged a glance, stepped out from the tree together, and walked up to the altar. Only 5 silver treasure chests remained at the bases of the 6 pillars. Where the 6th silver chest should have sat, a string of glowing numbers hovered suspended mid-air instead. 64, 29, 33. It looked like silver chests took 72 hours, 3 full days, to reset. If he camped out on this island, he could farm a full set of chest rewards every 3 days? He quickly dismissed the idea. A toxic ghost fog front was set to roll in 18 hours. Waiting around for a chest to respawn was completely unfeasible. The world system constantly pushed players to keep moving forward, never letting them linger in one spot too long. Still, 5 silver chests and 1 gold chest waited for them right here. The silver chest Lu Xiaoxiao had looted earlier had already yielded the level 4 vessel blueprint fragment, now tucked safely inside Li Shuang's spatial ring. All things considered, today's haul was an absolute jackpot. As soon as we grab the chests, sirens will flood the waters. We need to work lightning fast, Li Shuang warned. Lu Xiaoxiao nodded her head solemnly in agreement. Just as the two stepped forward to claim the treasure, 4 or 5 figures suddenly burst out of the nearby trees. Whoa, gold tier loot. Ha. There's actually a gold chest here. Damn straight, and piles of silver ones too. We've hit the jackpot. TSK. Didn't expect this dump to have treasure and such a cute little girl to boot. The lead man rolled up his sleeves, leering greedily at Li Shuang and Lu Xiaoxiao. Squirming under their vulgar, predatory stares, Lu Xiaoxiao quickly covered her chest and shrank back behind Li Shuang. In this world where civilization and order had crumbled entirely, the weak were only ever preyed upon, even killed outright. Li Shuang stared coldly at the group. Every man clutched weapons, baseball bats, axes, cleavers. A head-on brawl wasn't ideal, but he had more than enough tricks up his sleeve to handle them. The gang leader pointed at the treasure chests and barked orders to his underlings. 2 of you load all the chests up. Don't leave a single one behind. Got it, Brother Tian. 2 men stepped forward and moved to heft the silver chests. But the instant they lifted the first chest, ear-splitting wails echoed from the sea encircling the atoll. Every person present paled with terror at the sound. Brother Tian and his gang's legs shook as they rounded on the 2 men hauling treasure, shouting furiously. You 2 idiots, did you trigger some kind of trap? And no, Brother Tian. We only picked up the chest, didn't touch anything else. The 2 men holding the chests trembled, glancing around helplessly for any sign of a triggered mechanism, finding none. Brother Tian gritted his teeth, his expression hardening into desperate resolve. Hurry up and load them. We leave the second we're done. Brother Tian, what do we do with these 2? The remaining 2 henchmen raised their axes, gesturing toward Li Shuang and Lu Xiaoxiao. Terrified, Lu Xiaoxiao wrapped both arms tightly around Li Shuang's waist from behind. Don't be afraid, Li Shuang said, far calmer than she was. He hadn't run because he was fully confident every last treasure chest would end up in his possession. Brother Tian leered at the pair, a cruel, lustful grin spreading across his face. Kill the girl. Tie the boy up and haul him back to my cabin. You got it. 2 goons advanced forward with malicious intent. Li Shuang. A snort escaped Lu Xiaoxiao, tears glistening in her eyes even as she struggled to hold back laughter, fear and amusement warring on her face all at once. This is an unforgivable insult. They've sealed their own fate. Li Shuang raised his hand toward his spatial ring, ready to strike. Creak, creak, grind. Abruptly, the scraping drag of heavy chains rumbled up from beneath the ground, as if something massive was about to burst out from under their feet. Every head turned toward the noise. The gold chest centered on the altar had lifted off its stone base. Beneath the platform, low, thunderous whirring of gears echoed outward. Boom rumble. The ground shook beneath their feet, and the gang realized they'd lost all control of the situation, cold dread washing over them. Run! Brother Tian abandoned all thought of treasure or the 2 strangers, for countless level 1 sirens had surfaced all around the atoll, swarming in to cut off every escape route. Hundreds of the monsters scuttled forward with jaws agape, leaving the beach and treeline torn to shreds in their wake. Worse still, the entire coral islet was slowly sinking beneath the waves now that the gold chest had been disturbed. Watching the seawater creep up to their ankles, Li Shuang pulled Lu Xiaoxiao close to his side. His eyes never left the gold chest and silver chests, ready to make his move at any second. Roar! A hoarse, earth-shaking roar boomed out. An extraordinarily massive sea demon had appeared beneath the sacrificial altar without anyone noticing. Ding! Powerful sea demon target detected. Level, LV2. Target type, Strength type, Sea Demon. Strength, 150. Average adult male stat, 6. Speed, 20. Average adult male stat, 6. System evaluation, LV2 Strength type, Sea Demon. Gigantic frame with staggering defense. Its razor claws can easily tear apart LV3 vehicles. Li Shuang stared in shock at the LV2 Sea Demon. This was the strongest foe he had ever encountered. The LV2 Strength type, Sea Demon, swung its muscular forelimb violently, slamming it down hard at the subordinate carrying the golden treasure chest. Boom. After a dull crash, only the blood-stained golden chest lay silently on the ground. A short distance away, a fan-shaped patch of mangled flesh and blood floated atop the seawater. That terrifying strike left not even intact body parts behind, nearly scaring every witness out of their wits. Help! I don't want the treasure anymore. I give up. Stay back. Don't come any closer. The other underlings clutching silver treasure chests fled in abject terror, flinging their chests away in a mad panic. But before they could run far, hordes of sea demons that had already swum ashore swarmed over them, swallowing every last one without a single lingering scream. Brother Shuang, what do we do? Lu Xiaoxiao trembled all over as she stared at the horrifying scene unfolding before her eyes. No one expected Li Shuang to surge forward in an instant. He raised his palm and swept all 5 silver chests, along with the bloodied golden chest, into his spatial ring. At almost the exact same moment, an enormous vibranium yacht materialized out of thin air as if by divine miracle, crashing down squarely onto the LV2 Strength type Sea Demon. Move! Li Shuang shouted sharply, jolting Lu Xiaoxiao out of her stunned stupor. He stretched out a hand and yanked her toward him. Lu Xiaoxiao used the momentum to leap onto the deck alongside him. The two had barely steadied their footing on board when violent, unforeseen shaking ripped through the vessel. Ding! Vehicle under attack. Impact point. Yacht hull bottom. Durability, 100. The massive yacht shattered repeatedly, its hull gradually lifting upward bit by bit. The strength-type sea demon beneath was actually heaving the entire boat upward with its brute force. Save me. Somebody save me. The seawater below had already risen to chest height for the stranded survivors. Tian Gu stretched his arms wide, waving desperately toward Li Shuang on the deck, his face etched with utter despair. The next second, countless sea demons surged upward and dragged him fully under the waves, leaving only spreading foamy blood in their wake. Deprived of its primary target, the sea demon beneath flew into a frenzy and charged straight at the vibranium yacht. Dozens of sea demons even clambered atop one another, scaling the hull from all sides, inches away from climbing onto the deck. Li Shuang dragged Lu Xiaoxiao into the control cabin at once and slammed the hatch shut, locking it tight. Engage full power. Vroom. The roaring hum of the motor brought an overwhelming sense of safety. The vibranium yacht crushed the dense pack of sea demons beneath its hull as it made an urgent retreat away from the island. Trails of slimy green ichor and severed sea demon limbs floated across the ocean in its wake. Ding. LV1 speed type, Sea Demon eliminated. Obtained ocean coins times 10. Crazy Thursday meal set times 1. Ding. LV1 strength type, Sea Demon eliminated. Obtained ocean coins times 10. Nurse uniform set times 1. Ding. LV1 speed type, Sea Demon eliminated. Obtained vegetable seed pack times 1. Ding. LV1. Layer upon layer of system notifications blared one after another in quick succession. Li Shuang had no time to celebrate. He noticed the yacht's acceleration was far slower than anticipated. The LV3 vibranium yacht's sheer mass alone should have crushed these LV1 sea demons effortlessly. Yet the horde clinging to the stern was dragging down its takeoff speed. Thud! Another dull impact rang out. The rear half of the yacht was bodily lifted clear of the seawater before crashing back down hard. Li Shuang frowned and peered overboard, but Lu Xiaoxiao reacted faster, pointing straight ahead. It's that monster. Dead ahead of the yacht, the LV2 strength type sea demon reared its upper body. Its 2 colossal forelimbs resembled mutated, jagged crab pincers, slamming downward toward the yacht's bow. Seeking death, Li Shuang let out a cold smirk and slammed the throttle all the way down, charging head-on into the beast. The giant pincers collided with the bow, yet the deafening crash they expected never came. Where the hull made contact, rippling honeycomb-patterned black-gold runes spread outward like waves. Every ounce of the incoming impact force was absorbed completely into the vibranium coating without waste. Redirect force. Li Shuang's voice turned icy cold. The next instant, the vibranium coating shifted hue, unleashing the full stored kinetic energy back into the pair of massive pincers without restraint. Crack! A crisp bone-splintering sound echoed as if ringing right beside their ears. The first split appeared, and the giant pincers fractured into a spiderweb of cracks in a chain reaction. Roar! The LV-2 strength type Sea Demon howled in agony, thrashing its broken frame to ram the bow once more in a reckless charge. But stripped of its deadliest weapons, this suicidal lunge amounted to nothing more than throwing its life away. Without resistance, the vibranium yacht crushed its skull beneath the hull and burst cleanly out of the Sea Demon encirclement. Ding! LV-2 strength type Sea Demon eliminated. Obtained ocean coins times 200. LV-4 vehicle blueprint fragment times 1. Taming scroll times 1. Item name. LV-1 taming scroll. Item effect. Forcefully erases a Sea Demon's sentience, granting full control for defense and combat operations. Note: only effective against LV-1 Sea Demons. Cannot subdue LV-2 or higher tier targets. Li Shuang skimmed the description briefly and stowed the item away. This expedition had yielded incredible gains. 1 golden treasure chest, 5 silver treasure chests, plus piles of loot dropped by slain Sea Demons, an absolute windfall. Lu Xiaoxiao watched the horde of Sea Demons shrink farther and farther behind them, her heaving chest finally relaxing in relief. She stared at Li Shuang's side profile, a tangled, indescribable warmth swelling in her heart. The longer she stayed by his side, the more certain she became that following Li Shuang was the best decision she had ever made. Lost in her thoughts, she impulsively leaned in and pressed a light kiss to Li Shuang's cheek, then ducked shyly behind him, her face blazing crimson. A little reward for you, Humph. Oh, not scared I'll ask for another? Now safely out of danger, Li Shuang unwound from the earlier tension, eyeing Lu Xiaoxiao's long legs with a teasing glint in his gaze. No, I'm still sore from earlier. Lu Xiaoxiao wrapped her arms around his arm with a pitiful, coquettish look, stirring a flutter of warmth in his chest. By the time they finished clearing the island, dusk had fallen over the ocean. After washing the sticky sweat from their skin, the two stared eagerly at the 6 treasure chests laid out before them, their biggest haul of the day. Li Shuang wasted no time and opened all 6 chests at once. Item name: Silver Treasure Chest times 5. Rewards: LV-4 Vehicle Blueprint Fragment times 2. Compound Crossbow times 1. Crossbow Bolts times 50. Primary Constant Temperature Crop Incubator times 1. Item name: Golden Treasure Chest times 1. Reward: Primary Vehicle Radar times 1. Item description: Dedicated vehicle radar capable of detecting all targets within a 50-kilometer radius. Lucky break. I didn't expect 2 more LV-4 vehicle blueprint fragments from this haul. Combined with the ones I already had, I've got 4 total now. Li Shuang treated the fragments like priceless treasures, tucking them away carefully before picking up the compound crossbow to test its weight. It felt solid and reassuring the moment he hefted it. The crossbow itself was compact, crafted from matte, unidentifiable metal, paired with razor-sharp bolts glinting with a cold silver sheen, understated yet deadly. While the vibranium yacht boasted unrivaled defense, they would inevitably need to explore other islands again in the future. Trapped and surrounded like they had been today, a powerful handheld weapon was indispensable. If he'd had this crossbow earlier, the fight would not have turned so messy. Now armed with this crossbow, Li Shuang had an extra layer of self-defense. He stowed the crossbow and bolts, then lifted a palm-sized radar module. A translucent miniature blue radar hovered above his palm, spinning slowly in midair. Ding! Compatible binding target detected. Vibranium yacht. Bind radar module now. Yes, no? Yep, bind it. Li Shuang confirmed happily. The tiny radar transformed into a streak of blue light, shooting out the cabin window. It automatically locked and installed itself as the vessel's radar array atop the uppermost lounge deck. At the same time, scattered tiny red dots appeared across the circular radar display on the control cabin screen. Li Shuang's face lit up with delight. With this device, he would know every single movement within a 50-kilometer radius. Golden treasure chests truly lived up to their name. Whether automated machinery components or long-range radar, every item looted from them was flawless. After examining the radar, Li Shuang turned his attention to the primary constant temperature crop incubator sitting nearby. Item name: Constant Temperature Crop Incubator. Tier: Primary. Item evaluation: Entry-level plant cultivation unit filled with nutrient soil and grow lamps. Boosts plant growth speed tenfold. Requires continuous fresh water and energy to operate. The incubator was roughly the size of a ping-pong table, its flat surface lined with system-formulated ultra-nutritious black loam. An arched transparent protective dome arched over the top, lined with evenly spaced grow lights to power photosynthesis for crops inside. Li Shuang pulled out several packs of vegetable seeds and handed them to Lu Xiaoxiao. Plant a little of every variety. The soil is specially fortified with rich nutrients, so you can sow them densely. With this tenfold growth boost, we'll have fresh vegetables to eat every single day from now on. Lu Xiaoxiao grabbed the seed packets and let out an excited cheer. Wow, awesome! I want tomato scrambled eggs and stir-fried beef with green onions. She tore open the outer packaging to reveal smaller individual seed sachets, each labeled clearly to distinguish different vegetable varieties. Silly girl, we don't have eggs or beef right now. Watching her bustle about in pure excitement, Li Shuang couldn't help teasing her. But her comment sparked a new idea in his mind. If there was an incubator for plants, surely animal rearing units existed too. Maybe one day they could raise chickens, or even cattle. Still, those meals were not entirely out of reach. In a few days' time, the trade hub would surely stock all manner of goods and props for sale. For dinner, Lu Xiaoxiao prepared a lavish spread: tender braised steak and pasta, paired with chilled red wine. The two ate to their heart's content. After the meal, Li Shuang tallied and stored all treasure chests caught by his automated fishing rod. After a full day of labor, he'd accumulated 4 or 5 bronze chests, a decent stockpile. Besides food and fresh water, the chests had also yielded a deep freezer. Paired with their existing refrigerator, their ice-making capacity had multiplied drastically. Once the freezer was installed, it was time to launch their freshwater sales plan. Li Shuang glanced over at Lu Xiaoxiao, who had changed into her nurse uniform and white thigh-high stockings, and voiced his tentative idea. With the extreme heat sweeping the ocean right now, I'm planning to sell chilled water and ice blocks. Do you have any good suggestions? Absolutely. You've come to the right person for this. Lu Xiaoxiao immediately sidled over and flopped lightly into Li Shuang's embrace. The faint pink nurse uniform, white silk stockings, and her unique, youthful fragrance sent Li Shuang's thoughts wandering. If we're going to sell supplies, why not host a live stream sales broadcast right out on the ocean? Fresh water can only be purchased with ocean coins in the trade hub, and supplies are perpetually scarce despite high demand. If we stream live to sell water, we can conduct private side trades through backstage messages and accept all kinds of materials and rare props directly in exchange. Later on, if we find trustworthy buyers, we could even let them run live sales for us while we sit back and collect our profit shares. Lu Xiaoxiao spoke with total sincerity, and her logic sounded solid, yet Li Shuang hesitated. Live streaming? I've never done it before. Have you? Of course I have. I've hosted live shoots on film sets before, even if I haven't done product sales much. Lu Xiaoxiao patted her full chest confidently when she caught Li Shuang's doubtful gaze. Staring at her striking figure, Li Shuang conceded her plan was worth a shot. All right, go get ready, and I'll set up the room too. Li Shuang dragged a table over beside the window and stacked hundreds of pre-frozen bottled mineral water as a backdrop. These were bottled waters he'd stockpiled over time, frozen solid and stowed safely in his spatial ring. Time flowed at an extremely slowed rate inside the ring, so there was no risk of the ice melting. To amp up the visual impact, Li Shuang piled the water bottles into towering stacks that resembled small snow hills. Once the mass of chilled bottled water was laid out, the temperature inside the lounge dropped noticeably, and thick beads of condensation quickly coated every bottle surface. Lu Xiaoxiao tidied her hair and uniform. Though she had no cosmetics, 19 years of youth was her greatest asset. Her face was full of youthful collagen, her skin fair and flawless. Bare makeup only highlighted her natural beauty. Coupled with her breathtaking figure and eye-catching nurse uniform, she instantly became the center of attention the moment she sat down, a true national sweetheart. Brother Shuang, I'm all set. Lu Xiaoxiao nodded toward Li Shuang, signaling she was ready to begin. She sat down at the table and pulled up her system interface to launch her live stream. Over the past 2 days, the World Chat channel had been filled with factions running live streams to recruit members. but most broadcasts consisted of desperate survivors begging for aid. The moment Lu Xiaoxiao's stream went live, it triggered an immediate, massive stir across the entire player base. Whoa, it's Lu Xiaoxiao. National sweetheart Lu Xiaoxiao is actually streaming live. What? She got transported to this godforsaken wasteland too. Obviously, they said every human on Earth was pulled here. Of course, she's stuck with us. Xiaoxiao, look over here. Holy hell, Lu Xiaoxiao's wearing a nurse uniform? Good heavens, I'm about to get a nosebleed. She's stunning, even bare-faced. It's incredible a delicate girl like Xiaoxiao has survived this long. Hey Xiaoxiao girl, join our One Piece Guild. We'll supply unlimited food and water. Our Shark Guild is also recruiting. Join us, and you'll be guild mistress. TCH, as if Lu Xiaoxiao would take a fancy to any of you losers. Go look in a mirror first. Wait a second, what's stacked behind her? Bottled mineral water? Tons of bottled water. And they look frozen cold. Damn it, there's a guy sitting back there, and a full-size queen bed too. My goddess, how could this happen? The lounge was cramped, so Li Shuang sat against the wall off to one side, sipping an icy cola while monitoring the live stream chat. Once Lu Xiaoxiao began pitching the products, he would handle private trade requests sent through backstage messages. The viewer count in the top right corner skyrocketed non-stop, hitting over 500,000 in just a few short minutes. Staring at the surging numbers, Lu Xiaoxiao wore a confident smile. She knew exactly how famous she was. Hello everyone, I'm Lu Xiaoxiao. I'm sure many of my fans recognize me. I went live today first to cheer on all my supporters, so we can all push through and stay alive in this apocalyptic ocean world. Second, I'm streaming on behalf of my partner, the server's first owner of an LV3 vehicle, Mr. Li Shuang, to sell chilled, bottled mineral water. Lu Xiaoxiao stood up and displayed the stacked stockpiles of drinking water behind her on the large live stream screen. As she stepped backward with her legs crossed, her stunning long legs wrapped in sheer white silk were fully visible to the audience. Alongside them, the rows upon rows of bottled water, the king-size bed, the air conditioner set to 25 degrees on the wall, and the half-empty red wine left on the table were all laid bare for every survivor to see. No way. Why on earth is my Xiaoxiao inside Li Shuang's bedroom, and it's a king-size bedroom of all things? So much water, so much ice-cold water. Big shot Li Shuang, sell me a few bottles. I've got ocean coins. Holy hell, Li Shuang even has iced cola to drink. What's that on the table? There's half a bottle of red wine too. Their lounge area is unbelievably comfortable. I'm baking on an awning boat and dying of thirst out here. I rode a jet ski until blisters split open on my butt, and they get an air-conditioned room with a king-size bed. Xiaoxiao. No. Xiaoxiao, tell me, have you fallen head over heels for Li Shuang? No, Li Shuang. The hatred of stealing my beloved can never be erased. I swear I'll kill you. Sister Xiaoxiao, sell me 2 bottles. The heat is unbearable. I can't hold on much longer. Count me in 2. I'm a student. Can you spare 2 bottles for free? You've got mountains of water and you're still charging? Cut us a break and name your price. Sensing the live chat was sufficiently hyped up, Lu Xiaoxiao cleared her throat and got down to business. I'm sure everyone knows this is only the first day of the extreme heat disaster. 6 more days of scorching, brutal temperatures lie ahead. In conditions like these, the most critical strategic resource is fresh water. But there are 2 types of water supplies. The first is the plain drinking water you fish out of wooden treasure chests, risking heat stroke and severe dehydration to reel them in. The second is what you see stacked behind me. Ice-chilled drinking water specially prepared to beat the sweltering heat. Pausing dramatically at this line, Lu Xiaoxiao twisted open a bottle covered in condensation and poured the cold water into a glass before her. Next, she scooped several pre-prepared ice cubes and dropped them all into the cup. The ice blocks, radiating frigid cold, plopped to the bottom with a splash before floating back up to the surface. Lu Xiaoxiao lightly gripped the glass rim, parted her red lips, and took a slow sip. The refreshing chill flooded her insides, leaving a lingering, satisfied expression on her face. A stray trail of water trickled down from the corner of her mouth and slid along her neck, adding an extra layer of allure. This sequence of movements and soft, enticing expressions made every survivor watching the stream wish they could dive through the screen and lap the water off her skin themselves. Goddess. Xiaoxiao, my Xiaoxiao. I want that glass, the one Xiaoxiao drank from. Mommy, I'm Xiaoxiao's loyal dog. Seeing the live chat veering wildly off track, Lu Xiaoxiao quickly calmed the frenzy and steered the conversation back to the main topic. Everyone, producing all this ice-chilled water consumes massive amounts of electricity, driving up enormous energy costs. That's why Big Shot Li Shuang has decided to sell them through the backstage store at a rate of 100 ocean coins per bottle or 1 iron treasure chest per bottle. Stock is limited, first come, first served. The moment Lu Xiaoxiao announced the price, the live chat erupted into an uproar. 100 ocean coins? You have to slay 10 LV1C sirens just to scrape that much. Are you money crazy? The drop rate for iron chests on a LV2 fishing rod is only 5. Do you know how exhausting it is to grind one up? What an outrageous markup. Damn it. If you don't want to sell, just say so. I camped this live stream for hours just to get scammed like this. Li Shuang, Lu Xiaoxiao, you two unethical pair hoard mountains of water and let people die of thirst. You should split the water with everyone to get through this disaster together. Exactly. You're profiting off everyone's desperation during a global catastrophe. May you two suffer a terrible fate. Staring at the furious, threatening barrage of comments, Lu Xiaoxiao froze. All the confidence she'd had when starting the stream vanishing without a trace. The atmosphere in the live room had completely shifted from initial envy and excitement to vicious curses and threats. This was nothing like the studio live streams she'd hosted before the apocalypse. A wave of helplessness and grievance washed over her. She felt she'd messed everything up and let Li Shuang down. Her eyes welled up with tears, and she turned to gaze at Li Shuang with a wronged, pitiful look that stirred instant pity in anyone who saw her. Watching Lu Xiaoxiao's helpless figure on camera, Li Shuang knew he could no longer stand idly by. Setting down his cola can, he walked straight over to the lens, and his single line instantly turned the whole situation around. Attention! Lucky draw gift pouches starting now. Any survivor who posts the phrase, "Long live Goddess Lu Xiaoxiao" in the chat will enter a random draw for 10 lucky winners. Each winner gets 2 bottles of ice-chilled drinking water and 10 ice cubes, completely free of charge. Entries close in 5 minutes. Countdown starts now. What? I thought it was 100 ocean coins a bottle. They're giving them away for free. Holy crap. Is this real or just a prank? Long live Goddess Lu Xiaoxiao. Long live Goddess Lu Xiaoxiao. +1. Long live Goddess Lu Xiaoxiao. Damn, have all of you lost your minds? This is obviously a trick. A bunch of idiots. You actually fall for this garbage? Long live Goddess Lu Xiaoxiao. Long live Goddess Lu Xiaoxiao. Fine, if everyone else is spamming it, I will too. Long live Goddess Lu Xiaoxiao. Sent my entry, don't let me down. Max out the comments. I'm gonna score a seaside villa with this win. Long live Goddess Lu Xiaoxiao. I'll trade my ex's lifetime bad luck for a prize draw win. Long live Goddess Lu Xiaoxiao. Countless identical lines flooded the chat non-stop. At that moment, the live stream view count hit an astonishing 8 million viewers. Watching Li Shuang reverse public opinion with just a few words, Lu Xiaoxiao covered her mouth with her palm, tears glistening in her eyes, equal parts shocked and overjoyed. Brother Shuang, thank you. She tilted her head upward, staring at Li Shuang with pure gratitude and adoration. It seemed miracles always followed this man wherever he went. Li Shuang reached out and wiped the tear tracks off her wrong cheeks, his tone half teasing, half indifferent. It's just human nature. Glancing at the timer, Li Shuang issued another reminder. Hurry up and post your entry if you haven't already, time's running short. His single sentence sent another wave through the chat. The survivors who'd just been mocking and sneering immediately flipped their attitudes, shamelessly spamming the mandatory catchphrase alongside everyone else. Time's up. Li Shuang's voice rang out firm and cold, and he sent friend requests to 10 random participants from the spamming crowd. Congratulations to the 10 lucky winners. I've sent you friend requests. Accept them and message me to claim your gift pouch rewards. To everyone who didn't win, don't be discouraged. I've got plenty more ice-cold drinks stocked up. The regular price stays the same, but the first 20 buyers get a buy one, get one free deal. 1 bottle purchased, 1 bottle complimentary. Holy hell, I'm buying. I'll take some. Big Shot Li Shuang. Accept my friend request. I reserve one of the first 20 slots. I've got 2 iron treasure chests. I want 2 bottles. Hand me 4 total. Have you all gone insane? Can't you see this is Li Shuang's manipulative scheme? Scheme your whole family. You spammed the phrase 2 a minute ago. Now you're bitter you didn't win. Wake up, everyone. Li Shuang's a cunning capitalist exploiting us. My throat is parched raw. Anyone who stands in my way gets it. I'm claiming one of the first 20 slots too. Li Shuang paid no more mind to the World Channel's mix of curses, urgent pleas, and demands. His goal had already been accomplished. He handed control of the live stream back to Lu Xiaoxiao and focused on sorting through the flood of incoming friend requests in the back end. He approved each application in chronological order and completed trades via private chat messages. In barely over 10 minutes, Li Shuang earned more than 7,000 ocean coins and 37 iron treasure chests. Many survivors who'd snapped up the ice-chilled water posted photos to the World Channel to show off, stirring widespread envy. Close-up shots of frosty bottles floating with ice cubes alone made viewers feel a few degrees cooler just looking at them. This clever marketing ploy worked wonders for Li Shuang, driving even more survivors to rush and buy up his stock. Accepting another survivor's friend request, Li Shuang sent his usual inquiry. How many bottles do you want? Ocean coins or iron treasure chests as payment? The other party replied instantly. Big shot, I don't have enough ocean coins or any iron chests left. Can I trade this fruit with you instead? Before Li Shuang could respond, the user sent over an item preview link directly. Item name, LV1 Lure Fruit. Item description, LV1 Lure Fruit releases a unique blood scent and pheromones that draw nearby LV1 sea sirens. The fruit's pheromone concentration is low, so it barely affects LV2 or higher sea sirens. The user, Shirkai, typed sheepishly to explain. Big shot, this is the most unique, useful item I've got left. Everything else I own is just bread and basic crafting materials. I don't even know if this fruit is any use to you. If you don't want it, can I trade some bread for one bottle of water instead? Li Shuang stared at the item description for the lure fruit and pressed for details. Where did you find this? Oh, I picked them on an island. I was scared sea sirens lurked deeper inland, so I didn't venture far, just grabbed a handful growing along the shoreline. I couldn't bring myself to eat them, so I planted all the rest I picked. After a short exchange, Li Shuang pieced together the full story. Shirkai's vehicle was a soil transport barge. When the apocalypse hit, his starting position was 8.5 days travel away from the Ghost Mist, an absolute god-tier spawn location. But the boy was far too simple-minded. Secure in his safe distance from the Ghost Mist, he'd gotten the absurd idea to devote all his resources to farming. Every treasure chest he fished up and every supply he collected was traded privately to buy basic constant temperature crop grow boxes. In just 2 days, he'd amassed 6 basic crop grow boxes and even 1 basic constant temperature livestock shed. The barge's spacious central hold held all his farming equipment, and most of the bottled water he'd looted from chests was poured out to water his plants. It wasn't until the extreme heat descended that he realized how catastrophic the high temperatures would be, leaving him trapped in a desperate water shortage. You could call him clever for thinking of indoor farming, yet foolish for wasting precious drinking water on crops. You could call him foolish, yet he'd figured out hiding from the deadly heat inside his 6-square-meter temperature-controlled livestock shed. Listening to his tale, Li Shuang cringed for him. He'd been handed an unbeatable starting advantage, yet ruined it all with his own poor decisions. Deal. I'll take the fruit, and I'll give you 1 liter of water in exchange. Shirkai had fully expected to be turned down, and Li Shuang's offer made his heart skip a beat. Huh? You really want it, big shot? This fruit's only good for luring dangerous sea sirens. It's useless for anything else. Shirkai scratched his head, still unable to believe his luck. He'd held out little hope for a trade, yet Li Shuang was willing to take the fruit and give him an entire liter of fresh water in return. They're exactly what I need, the sea sirens. Li Shuang smiled faintly. With these lure fruits, his efficiency hunting sea sirens would skyrocket once more. He scanned 2 bottles of ice-chilled water via the system interface and sent a trade request without hesitation. On the other end of the screen, Shirkai jumped straight up inside his livestock shed the second he saw Li Shuang's trade pop up. It was only then that he realized the big shot was completely serious. Big shot, will you need more of these lure fruits later? I've got them planted in my constant temperature grow boxes. Loads more will ripen soon. Shirkai typed frantically, clinging to Li Shuang like a drowning man grasping a life raft. If the powerful survivor needed a steady supply of lure fruit, he'd secured himself an invaluable powerful ally. Li Shuang's eyes lit up at the news, and he probed further. How many can you harvest each day? 6 a day. Thrilled that Li Shuang was genuinely interested, Shirkai replied in an instant. He paused for a second, worried the number would disappoint Li Shuang, and quickly added more. If I can get my hands on extra grow boxes later, I can expand my plantation even further. If you need a constant supply, I can dedicate myself fully to farming and livestock raising for you. If I manage to get vegetable seeds or live livestock like cattle, sheep, chickens, and ducks later, I can supply you with fresh greens and meat year-round. What foresight and initiative, Li Shuang thought to himself with a quiet laugh. Truth be told, the proposal tempted him greatly. Though his vibranium yacht boasted unlimited energy and impenetrable defense, living space was extremely limited. Aside from 1 small constant temperature crop box, Most of the cabin storage was packed with freshwater converters. Fresh water remained his most vital resource, one he intended to keep firmly under his own control. The limited cabin space had to be prioritized for water production equipment. Besides, tending crops and livestock was far less hassle with someone else handling all the daily labor. The fresh water and energy consumed by Shi Kai's farms amounted to virtually zero cost for Li Shuang. After weighing everything thoroughly, Li Shuang gave a clear, straightforward answer. Very well. You can keep selling me lure fruits going forward, and I'll also buy any vegetables, fruit, poultry, eggs, or meat you produce. Big shot. No, from now on you're my savior, my own father. Shi Kai leaped to his feet in wild excitement. Grime covered his rough, weathered face, yet his eyes burned bright with hope. Becoming a subordinate to a LV3 powerhouse drastically boosted his odds of surviving the apocalypse long term. No need for father, just call me boss instead. Li Shuang let out a helpless chuckle, quickly putting a stop to Shi Kai's over-the-top dramatic outburst. Yes, boss. I'll tend the crops with all my effort. Shi Kai instantly corrected his address and swore wholeheartedly, before his excitement faded into new worry. But boss, the constant temperature grow boxes consume lots of water and electricity. I barely have enough water to sustain myself right now, and my energy reserves are nearly depleted too. Since his spawn point was still several days' travel away from the Ghost Mist, Shi Kai hadn't sailed his barge far these past few days, diverting all power to his farming equipment. Even so, once the Ghost Mist drew near, the little energy he had left wouldn't carry his vessel very far at all. Li Shuang waved his hand casually and sent over 2 universal energy cells straight away. Alongside them, 20 liters of fresh water transferred to Shi Kai's inventory as well. Take these supplies first. Focus on tending the farm for me. Don't worry about anything else. Staring at the barrel of water and 2 ultra-valuable universal energy cells materializing out of thin air beside him, Shi Kai's scalp tingled and tears welled in his eyes. Such a massive quantity of fresh water, plus 2 energy cells that sold for a fortune yet were nearly impossible to find, and Li Shuang had handed them over without a second thought. Shi Kai burst into messy, snotty tears, nearly dropping to his knees on the spot. Boss. Wah. You're too kind to me, boss. I'll work my fingers to the bone for you. I don't even know how to repay your kindness. Boss, tell me where you are. I'll scrub your hooks clean for you personally. Wah. Cut the nonsense and be quiet. Li Shuang felt a wave of nausea and quickly closed the chat window. After this little distraction, all the chilled drinking water had been sold out. Staring at the balance in her account and the room full of iron treasure chests, Lu Xiaoxiao beamed with delight, stacking them neatly like a little wealthy miser hoarding her fortune. Everyone, today's batch of chilled drinking water is all gone. Those who missed out, don't worry, another stock will go on sale tomorrow. Li Shuang tapped the table, his tone firm and unnegotiable. What? Sold out already? Damn it. I just fished up an iron treasure chest, and now there's no water left. Don't even get me started. I just sold several sets of cool private photos privately to scrape together enough ocean coins, and now it all gone. What photos? How revealing. Share one to show us. Count me in. No way. Li Shuang, are you targeting me on purpose? You cut the supply just because I called you a fraud earlier. I'll pay for water. I've got ocean coins. Shady merchant. This is deliberate scarcity marketing. You're just waiting to jack up the price. Don't fall for his trick. He's definitely hiding more water on purpose. Greedy to the core. Who even wants your cold water anyway? Watching the frustrated outburst from survivors who'd failed to grab any water in the live stream, Li Shuang remained perfectly calm and indifferent. He had no worries whatsoever about sales. Come the next broadcast, these same people would snap up every drop in an instant again. That's all for today. Signing off. He shut down the live stream and tallied up all his gains from the day. Ocean coin balance, 15,620. Iron treasure chests times 65. Not bad at all. What a bumper haul. Li Shuang clicked his tongue in amazement. Making money this way was far faster than ramming sea sirens with his vibranium yacht. Just then, Lu Xiaoxiao brought him a glass of red wine thoughtfully. She curled up in his lap like a kitten, her face full of admiration and joy. Brother Shuang, you're incredible. Breathing in the sweet floral scent of the young woman's neck, Li Shuang couldn't help pinching her soft cheek, grinning mischievously as he shot her a teasing question. Am I good right now, or better tonight? I'm ignoring you. Lu Xiaoxiao knew exactly what he meant. Her cheeks flushed bright red, and she playfully punched his chest with her delicate fist in feigned anger. Still riding high on his windfall, Li Shuang couldn't wait to open every single iron treasure chest. drinking water times 38, universal energy cells times 12, steel times 310, rubber times 160, canned draft beer times 20, electromagnetic components times 26, Pop Rocks candy times 2, vanity mirror times 1, Balenciaga apparel times 3, bottle laundry detergent times 1, lazy bean bag sofa times 1, cough syrup times 1, sun protection jacket times 1, frozen lobster tail packets times 2, postpartum care for sows manual times 1, solar panels times 1. Most of the loot inside the iron chest consisted of basic daily supplies, which were more than welcome in the early days of the apocalypse when everyday necessities were scarce. He handed the vanity mirror and Balenciaga garments to Lu Xiaoxiao. She took them with a blush. Then her gaze drifted to the packs of Pop Rocks sitting on the table. Li Shuang raised an eyebrow, instantly catching on to what she was thinking. With a wicked grin, he grabbed the 2 candy packets and pressed them straight into her palm. Lu Xiaoxiao's face burned crimson, a mix of embarrassment and fluster written all over her features. Humph, you're such a pervert. I only wanted them to eat, nothing else. Ahem, I get it. We can save them for later tonight. Having his secret thought laid bare, Li Shuang scratched the tip of his nose, acting completely unashamed. Lu Xiaoxiao bit her lip, finally tucking the Pop Rocks into the pocket of her nurse uniform and letting out a haughty huff. At dinner time, Lu Xiaoxiao cooked a huge pot of garlic and spicy dual-flavor lobster tails, utterly mouth-watering. Li Shuang opened his mouth and accepted the peeled lobster tail she held out to him, savoring every satisfying bite. The meat, coated in rich savory sauce, was tender enough to melt on the tongue. Paired with ice-cold canned beer, it was pure bliss. For a split second, he felt transported back to the carefree days of eating skewers at roadside barbecue stalls before the disaster. Lu Xiaoxiao scrolled through her system panel, her voice brimming with delight and pride. Brother Shuang, my livestream gained over 2 million new followers today. For context, even combining her Weibo and Douyin accounts over all her years in the entertainment industry, she'd only amassed just over 1 million fans total. She never imagined a single live sales stream would blow past that old record in one day. For an actress who'd made her living in showbiz, this was fantastic news, even amid the end of the world. Naturally, the vast majority of those 2 million followers were only here because of Li Shuang. While Lu Xiaoxiao hosted the stream, nearly everyone tuned in purely to buy his chilled drinking water. Li Shuang glanced at the screen, uninterested in follower counts himself. Huh? Is that Sister Qingru? Lu Xiaoxiao, who'd been scrolling through messages, suddenly sat bolt upright, staring excitedly at one of the 99+ unread private messages in her back-end inbox. Li Shuang took a sip of beer and asked in confusion. Qingru? Who's that? A friend of yours? Yeah, she's my best friend Jiang Qingru. She never worked in entertainment, so it makes sense you haven't heard of her. Sure enough, she got transported here too. All alone as a girl. She must be having a terrible time. Lu Xiaoxiao's eyes welled up with worry, a clear sign of how deep their sisterly bond ran. Sister Qingru, is that really you? Lu Xiaoxiao sent a reply to confirm her identity. After all, billions of people had been pulled into this wasteland, and countless shared the same name. On the other end, Jiang Qingru teared up and hastily typed a response. Xiaoxiao, you finally replied to me. Sister Qingru, where are you right now? Are you hurt? Sensing the panic in Jiang Qingru's tone, Lu Xiaoxiao pressed her urgently for details. Jiang Qingru's face was deathly pale, her lips cracked and parched. Her long black hair was greasy, matted to her cheeks with dried sweat, sticky and uncomfortable. I don't even know where I am. That brute Song Jishu stole all my food and water. I've been baking in the sun all day without a single drop to drink. What? That rotten scumbag is with you. Lu Xiaoxiao knew Song Jishu well. Born into a wealthy, powerful family, he'd pestered Jiang Qingru relentlessly for years. When she rejected his advances, he'd gotten his father to formally propose a marriage alliance to the Jiang family. Jiang Qingru's father had agreed solely for lucrative business partnerships, desperate to climb the social ladder of the Song clan. Though their parents had arbitrarily arranged the engagement, Jiang Qingru had never acknowledged Song Jishu as her fiancé, always keeping a polite distance whenever they crossed paths. I always knew that man was rotten to the core. The apocalypse has finally stripped away his fake, decent facade. Lu Xiaoxiao ground her teeth with rage. Once Song Jishu found out Jiang Qingru's best friend was national sweetheart Lu Xiaoxiao, he'd even shamelessly harassed her privately behind Qingru's back. Back then, out of consideration for the arranged engagement, Lu Xiaoxiao had only issued him a stern warning, and Qingru had never known about it. Thinking about her best friend going an entire day without water, Lu Xiaoxiao quickly sent 2 bottles of chilled drinking water via the teleport function. Sister Qingru, drink this right away. Hang in there, please. Jiang Qingru stared dumbfoundedly at the bottles of cold water that had materialized out of thin air before her. She thought the heat stroke had made her hallucinate, yet the frosty, condensation-covered bottles looked undeniably real. Her hands trembled as she reached out. The moment her fingertips touched the icy droplets, a sharp chill shot straight from her fingertips to the top of her head. It's real, actual water? Throwing all Leda-like poise to the wind, her eyes red and burning with thirst, she twisted open the cap and chugged the water greedily. The frigid liquid soothed her cracked lips, a refreshing coolness washing over her entire body. Her severely dehydrated frame regained a little strength, and she leaned weakly against the cabin wall. Thank you, Xiao. I feel so much better now. I'll send 1 bottle back to you, though. This precious cold water shouldn't all go to me. What will you drink?